जूनियर 11th भी आपने गोल्डन वॉक भेजा था क्या?
हाँ, और क्या ऑनलाइन था ही नहीं।
So I guess we are the dynamic duo.
प्रैक्टिस करता है, अभी भी नूब है।
वो तो पूरी आके बाद ही पता चलेगा। बस एक और बचा है।
Let's not underestimate.
वैसे मेरे भी 5 kills हैं और तेरे भी 5। क्या मैंने ठीक खेला?
ये तो बुया के बाद ही पता चलेगा।
तू वेट कर, मैं दिख रहा हूँ।
अबे रुक जा, मैंने से शीरू का कैरेक्टर जीता है, इसका फुल यूज तो कर लेना।
Previously on What's Up Free Fire. Huh? What is this place? Free Fire! Welcome to Season 2. I'm back! This is our first episode of the new year, so new enhancements are in order. First up, a big one. Training Grounds Remake. This island is now bigger and better looking. A new, full-sized racing track is being constructed, allowing you to experience the thrill of speed with your friends. Now all we are missing is a super fast car. The target range is also renewed to provide more visual feedback as you hone your skills. An esports hall of fame will be built beside the social zone. Get up close and personal with your favorite team and professional players. Revel in their glories as you forge.
मैं डैडी स्लेट स्लेयर, आपका जूनियर 11th भी। आपने गोल्डन वॉक भेजा था क्या?
हाँ, और क्या ऑनलाइन था ही नहीं।
So I guess we are the dynamic duo.
प्रैक्टिस करता है, अभी भी नूब है।
वो तो पूरी आके बाद ही पता चलेगा। बस एक और बचा है।
Let's not underestimate.
वैसे मेरे भी 5 kills हैं और तेरे भी 5। क्या मैंने ठीक खेला?
ये तो बुया के बाद ही पता चलेगा।
तू वेट कर, मैं देखता हूँ।
अबे रुक जा। मेहनत से ही शीरू का कैरेक्टर जीता है, इसका फुल यूज तो करने दो।
Previously on What's Up Free Fire. Huh? What is this place? Free Fire! Welcome to Season 2. I'm back! This is our first episode of the new year, so new enhancements are in order. First up, a big one. Training Grounds Remake. This island is now bigger and better looking. A new, full-sized racing track is being constructed, allowing you to experience the thrill of speed with your friends. Now all we are missing is a super fast car. The target range is also renewed to provide more visual feedback as you hone your skills. An esports hall of fame will be built beside the social zone. Get up close and personal with your favorite team and professional players. Revel in their glories as you forge your own records in the game. You know, I kinda miss Moko. Okay. But seriously though, we are the dynamic duo, don't you think? Now you can form your own dynamic duo. The new partner system allows players to form closer ties with their best buds. As you game and socialize together, your buddy meter increases. More benefits will be added soon, but feel free to tell us what features you would like to see in the comments below. Players will also get a personal name badge. Something like this, displayed in your profile page. Together with this addition is the battle tag. Earn it with your performance in each match. This is your badge of honor. You can also visit other players' profiles and look at their ranks, playstyles, and battle tags. Talking about buddies, a new revival mechanism will be introduced in Battle Royale. After completing a series of tasks, it is possible to bring a fallen teammate back into battle. But I must warn you, it is very challenging. You guys asked, and we delivered. The developers have heard your desire for more weapon varieties in Clash Squad. Now, popular weapons will be arranged into multiple sets and rotated as you play more games. May more choices bring more victories for you. And before we go, here's a quick look at the weapon balancing adjustments in this new patch. That's all for our Season 2 premiere. See you next time on What's Up Free Fire.
অসাধারণ গেম প্লে ফ্রম হটশট ভাই দিস অসাধারণ সুমন ভাই এখানে থার্ড পার্টি
थोड़ा लेके भी तो ओपन में था
আনটিটেল টিমের একজন কিন্তু ডাউন থাকে এবং এখানে কিন্তু হয় টিমে ফেলে কিন্তু দুইজনকে আরেক সুমন ভাই এখানে থার্ড পার্টি
थोड़ा लेके भी तो ओपन में था
বাংলাদেশি লাস্ট প্লেয়ারটা দুইজন পরে শেষ রক্ষা
Hi, survivors! It's me again, Kelly! Huge thanks to all of you for the warm support to Free Fire esports in the past years. I know all of us can't wait to find out what's next for Free Fire esports in 2021. So today, I am very excited to share with you what we've achieved so far and what we are planning for this year. Let's start with our biggest esports event in 2020, the Free Fire Continental Series. By the way, I hope you still remember my terrific performance at the opening ceremony. We broke records with the Asia Series, where 2.5 million of you tuned in to us live. The America Series also had a peak of over 1.7 million live viewers. Meanwhile, the EMEA Series also drew in nearly 300,000 live viewers, creating new viewership records for us in the CIS and Middle East regions. Your support was absolutely amazing! The Free Fire family just keeps growing. You guys rock! The World Series, together with the rest of our tournaments, pushed Free Fire into the top 5 most watched games on YouTube in 2020. Last but not least, we won the Esports Mobile Game of the Year at the Esports Awards 2020. We are humbled by your passion and love for Free Fire esports. This award is yours as much as it is ours. Hayato, it's your turn to talk about the World Series.
Sure. We have continuously expanded our esports outreach throughout the world, and the number of participating regions have grown massively. We started with 9 regions at our very first international tournament, the Free Fire World Cup. Over the past 2 years, our esports community has grown to include India, Russia, the Middle East, and the Pakistan regions. Our plans to grow further do not stop here. And in 2021, we'll be adding Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Philippines as competitive regions.
Yay!
Next, we're proud to present the brand new logo and format for the Free Fire World Series, our largest and most iconic tournament of the year. This year will be bigger than ever before. There will be 2 World Series in 2021. The first World Series will be taking place in Asia during April, while the second World Series will be hosted in November. In addition to these, there will be another international tournament around July. So stay tuned for the rest of the year.
In 2021, we will continue to work hard and provide more engaging esports events and content. We are excited to see Free Fire esports grow bigger this year, and we know we can do it with you as our loyal fans. That's all for now, and we will meet again very soon in April for the World Series.
See you soon.
Hi survivors, subscribe and press the bell icon for more awesome content. See you in the next video.
যখন আমি দেখি বাংলাদেশে বড় বড় স্পোর্টস ইভেন্টগুলো আসছে তখন আমি গেমটিকে ক্যারিয়ার হিসেবে গ্রহণ করি।
যখন বাংলাদেশে টুর্নামেন্ট হইতেছিল টপ 18-তে ঢুকছি তখন মনে করছি গেমটাকে ক্যারিয়ার হিসেবে নেওয়া যায়।
যখন আমি রেগুলার টুর্নামেন্ট খেলা স্টার্ট করি তারপর থেকে ভালো কিছু ফলাফল আসার পরে আমি শখ থেকে তখন গেমটিকে ক্যারিয়ার হিসেবে নিয়েছিলাম।
বিভিন্ন লোকাল টুর্নামেন্ট এবং টুর্নামেন্ট জেতা শুরু করি এবং বিভিন্ন ইন্ডিয়ান টুর্নামেন্ট জেতা শুরু করি, প্লাস যখন স্পোর্টস ইউটিউবারদের ফলো করা শুরু করি তখনই আমি ভাবি যে আসলে এই গেমকে স্পোর্টস ক্যারিয়ার হিসেবে নেওয়া সম্ভব।
মূলত গেম শখের বসেই খেলা এবং সেই শখের কারণেই বিভিন্ন টুর্নামেন্টে আমি অংশগ্রহণ করি এবং সেখানে আমার পারফরমেন্স ধীরে ধীরে ভালো হতে থাকে, যার ফলে আমি সিদ্ধান্ত নিই আমি আমার গেমিংকে নিজের ক্যারিয়ার হিসেবে বেছে নেব।
একদিন র্যাঙ্ক পুশ করার সময় আমি আমার ড্রাম ড্যামেজ নিতে গিয়েছিলাম, তখন আমার নেট চলে গিয়েছিল আর সেই সময় আমার 3টি টিমমেট নকডাউন ছিল কিন্তু তাদেরকে আমি হিল দিতে পারিনি।
একটা টুর্নামেন্টে লাস্ট জনে অনেকটা বেশি ছিল, প্রায় 10-15 জনের মতো। সো সে ওখানে ক্যাম্প করে প্লাস ওর স্ট্র্যাটেজি মেনে ও এতজনের মাঝেও সে বুয়াটা নিয়ে এসেছে।
বাংলাদেশের টপ 48টা টিমের মধ্যে আমরা ছিলাম, এটাই আমাদের প্রিয় স্মৃতি।
এফএফবিসি কোয়ালিফায়ারের 4টা ম্যাচের একদম চতুর্থ যে ম্যাচটা ছিল ওটাই আমরা টোটালি কামব্যাক করি এবং 17 কিলের সাথে আমরা বুইয়া করে
রুবি আজিয়াটা 2টা সিজন খেলে ফেলেছি। এছাড়াও কোডাশপের একটা টুর্নামেন্ট আমরা টিম ইলেক্টর থেকে উইন হয়েছি।
কোডাশপের সেকেন্ড রানার আপ হওয়া এবং এফএফবিসিতে টপ 18-এ কোয়ালিফাই করা।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Free Fire Bangladesh Championship. My name is Ranjit Mama, Senior Patel, and alongside me is the Wizard of Words. He's none other than my man Salty over here. Salty, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fine. It's a pleasure casting with you every damn time. And I guess we're going to have a lot of fun in the next 2 games.
I don't think we're going to have enough fun that we had in the last 60 seconds before actually going live, but we will talk about that. And there's a lot of banter which happens on the stream and even more so off the stream. But today we're going to have a look at the teams playing first and figure out how they're going to perform. But talking about the teams, we have Team Electro, Cyanide, Infinity Boys, Team Infinity, Master Boys, Agent EXP, Zenin, and a lot more. But the teams that stand out for me are Jawbreakers. One, there's GB2L that really stands out. Team One Man as well. But if I had to name one more team, I would probably name Agent EXP.
Agent EXP is the first team that comes in my mind. Second will probably be either one of Team Electro or Team Infinity, because both of these two teams are just so consistent. Teams that have not really been performing will be Team Ambush Esports. They have not really shown up. Team Mask Boys, the same goes for them as well. Team One Man is a team that has a lot of potential but didn't really show up that well. So there are a lot of teams that have been that has been underperforming. And day 6, the platform is set for them to just open their guns and fire.
Opening the guns and firing, or open firing, is probably the right phrase to use. But opening guns, I see where this is going, Salty. You've been exercising a lot, and that's why you've been talking about the guns, of course, talking about biceps over here. Absolutely talking about the biceps. But we're going to talk about the tournament format for now, because the format is grueling. Of course, we started off with an FFC mode qualifier, then we moved on to the closed qualifiers. So the top 48 teams from the open FFC mode qualifier moved on to the closed qualifier, and then the top 18 teams from there moved on to the league season, which is happening right now. Now, the top 6 teams, 2 from each group, the top 2 teams from each group will move on to the grand finals, and then the bottom 12 teams will once again battle it out in the grand final play-ins, and then the top 6 teams will move on to the finals, and we'll have 12 teams on the final day battling it out for the crown of Free Fire Bangladesh Championship. And it's one hell of a format. I love it. I absolutely love the format. And even more so, the league point conversion. If you talk about the point system, it's even more better. It's even better. And explaining this, imagine we have 2 groups playing one day, Group A and Group B. You see position number 3, that is Team B1. It's Team 1 from Group B, that is Group B1. Even though they're on the 3rd position, they are still going to get 20 points, not because they got a booyah, but because they were ahead of everyone in their own respective group. So Group A1 is also going to get 20 points. Group B1 is also going to get 20 points, all because they only get compared to their own groups and not to the other group that they're actually playing against.
Absolutely. I guess this serves right to the fact that these teams, they're actually competing against teams of their own group and not against other groups. And that just goes to show that the amount of filtering that goes on. I mean, we saw the format, Mamba, and I was just surprised to see the number of times a team is being filtered. They come in from the FFC mode, they go through the closed qualifiers, they go through the league stage, they go through the play-ins, they go through the grand finals. This is just tremendous filtering that goes on. We'll talk about that a bit later though. We have the league standings, and this is where the entire tournament stands. Group C, Bamba, as I was having a conversation with Tanya yesterday, it's completely lit up. Just have a look at that. Number 1 and number 4, they have a difference of just 10 points, and any one of them can just overturn the entire table just by their own free will. Group B, though, the difference is much larger. The difference between team number 1 and team number 2 is 10 points itself. Group A, there is a very significant difference between team number 2 and team number 3. So as I said, Team Infinity and Team Electro, they have been really, really consistent from Group A. The other teams, not that much. Agent EXP as well as Extreme EX, they have really, really shown themselves. These are the 2 teams that are hot on form. They're on red hot form rather. But Group C, that is where the real action begins. We've almost finished 2 weeks of league stages, and we are yet not confirmed which are the 2 teams who will be still making it to the grand finals directly, and which are the 4 teams who will be playing the play-ins.
Yep, we will definitely find that out. But of course, we're going to hop right into the game in a bit as well, because the match is about to start. The first map being Bermuda. Salty, I want to have predictions this time around. We've not talked about predictions quite often. So, top 3 teams for this match. Who do you think are the most likely to walk away with the booyah?
All right, let's go. Team Agent with the 2nd place. Team Infinity with the 1st place. And I'm going to go outrageous. I'm going to go Team Mask Boys for the 3rd place. What about you?
Well, you want me to be honest or just, be me?
I want you to be both. Speak your heart out.
XB, Electro, and Mask Boys.
So 2 teams do match in our predictions. We'll have to watch out what happens. But
how do 2 teams match?
Yeah, you did.
XB and Electro?
Yeah. I said XP. I said Infinity, and I said Mask Boys. You said XP. You said
Electro. Oh, okay. Okay, then I'm actually gonna not say XB and Mask Boys. I'm gonna go with Team Cyanide Ambush Esports. Let's go.
Ooh, that is kind of outrageous to be honest. But Shipyard, just have a look at that team GB2L going up against a very close competitor. I guess it is Team Infinity. Yes, it is Team Infinity. Team Infinity has been a team that has been performing really, really well. I'm not quite sure if GB2L do have what it takes to take them on so early in the game, but there is a significant amount of distance between those two teams, and certainly the fight is not necessary. But the kind of intent that I see from Team GB2L, I guess they're hot on the tails of Team Infinity. If this fight breaks out, Mamba, I guess this is going to be something which is against the pattern of a safe, calm, and calculated Bermuda gameplay.
Yep, safe, calm, composed, calculated. Every word that you could think of, which gets the point across. But, the way I describe this is being fearful. That's it. Because if you have the confidence, if you know that you're capable, then you will want to take a fight and stamp your authority. At least that is what I would do. And make sure that it's not just, establishing your authority in the game itself, but also making sure that psychologically it creates an impact. But look at Spartan. Spartan, he gives zero... He doesn't care. He gives zero dares about if he has an SMG or an AR or a sniper rifle at that range using the P90 and getting a kill is just, well, it's outrageous.
I mean, I do understand that Team XP, they were completely caught off guard. The player, I don't really remember the name, but he was in a very weird spot. And that is definitely not where you want to be in. But certainly, Team Cyanide, one early kill. And also returning back to your conversation where you said that if you're confident, you can take those fights in. I do understand where you come from. You've had a good game day, right? You've been getting all the kills for yourself, and you're talking about that. But I don't think that happens quite often in the tournament perspectives.
Well, honestly, I feel it does carry on to the tournament perspective as well, because even in a tournament, if you're just feeling it, you're feeling it. And there are times that you want to start off aggressively. I'll give you an anecdote from my own experience. It was, I think, 3 months back, I was playing a tournament. We were definitely the underdogs. We made a team literally 2 nights before the tournament started, and we were playing up against one of the hot favorites in the tournament. And it wasn't that our team was bad, but the enemy team was good. We were a new bunch of guys just playing together for the first time, the first official match, and we started off pretty aggressive. We were, in a position where we shouldn't have aggressed, but we were aggressive. We got those openings, we got those kills, and that just broke the confidence in the opposition. Because imagine being in a position where you have the clear advantage with positions, with confidence, with momentum in every possible way. And, even the audience or the casters are expecting you to win. So there's no pressure that way. And you know that the other team is a no-namer team. Sure, the players are decent, but they've never played together. So you can call them a dark force, a dark horse. But at the end of the day, if you can stamp authority the way we did, it does mess with the psychology of the opposition. And it takes away a lot of confidence. And if you win that fight, you've practically secured a booyah. 80% of the times you're going to win the fight, even if you don't have an advantage in that respective fight.
The way you're describing it, I guess I was the one who was casting this event, but I'm not quite sure if it was that event itself. But I definitely casted you playing in tournaments. So that is that. But you didn't know that? We had a conversation about this. I mean, I definitely didn't understand that if it was you who was playing it, but later on when you described your experiences, I knew for a fact that, all right, this guy is Mamba. And I was completely stoked, to be honest, that I've casted you playing, and I've casted alongside you as well.
Definitely 2 Mambas from where we're coming from, so we'll have to confirm that after the event gets done, after the tournament's done. But talking about the circle, right, Salty? It's a little bit towards the northwest. Usually we see the circle coming in a little more towards the center, not going so much up north. So it's quite interesting to see that the way the zone has spanned out is looking like an extreme zone.
Yesterday, the free fire gods was certainly not in the favor of the players, because in Bermuda, I saw a very southern circle, something which we generally don't see. In Purgatory, we got to see a bridge circle. So today, the circle going up north, that doesn't really surprise me, to be honest, but it probably will surprise a lot of the players. Players who are still holding on to central regions like team number 3, that's Team Mask Boys near Peak, I guess they will have to start making a move, because when this circle closes in, Just have a look at the map, Amamba. Most of the regions at the central part of the circle, they're already occupied by teams. And for Team Mask Boys, it's going to be more hard to capture those places. But this is Team One Man, and they start strong early on in the game. Agent Sabir has been knocked out and has been confirmed. This is a very strong foothold for Team One Man in this particular fight against Team Agent. Certainly, they will try and hold themselves back. But Lusa gets taken down. Ornov is in a very, very good position. He deploys a glue wall, trying to provide a little bit of cover for himself to work with, but certainly the kind of position he's in, he can absolutely devastate Team One Man.
That is true. That is absolutely true. And the performance, the way they've been playing, they can devastate Team One Man, but I think they should take it slow because they've already lost out on a player. You talk about Ornob, he's healing himself as well, so he needs to be very careful with regards to the fight that he's taking. But Zishan is going to go out there and take a fight because he's been the MVP a couple of times. Does connect the first shot, can he find the second, though he is going to use the shield, will get knocked out. 4 constraints towards you. It's not going to work out. Any cover is not going to help you over there, especially just your chrono shield. It's not that strong where you can take a fight 1 versus 4, and I think that was a bad decision on his part.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Team Agent playing so rusty early on in the game because most of the times their movements are more towards prioritizing their rotations and prioritizing their positioning and later going for the kills. But this time around, they find themselves so much out of the open and take those fights even when they're not prepared for it. That was something which was definitely surprising to me. But Team Infinity, though, just have a look. They have a vantage point, but Team 11... I'm not quite sure what Team Electro is planning, but certainly when they press their foot on the gas, Team Infinity might just be wiped out in one clean swoop.
That is true. They will get wiped out in one clean swoop, and that is what you expect. A clean fire where you don't have a lot of collateral damage, but look at Nobin. He's going to find a knock for himself, and he wants to push in, but he doesn't realize, little does he know there are 4 players waiting for him, and if he does go in, he might actually not live to fight another day, trying to find a frag for himself. He needs to fall back. The glue wall coming in. He's going to get trapped over there, but not connecting a lot of shots. Knock one more player out. Can he stay alive? The cavalry is coming in. The glue wall is going to block the entrance. That was so smart from Nobin coming in. Blocking the entrance with the glue wall, making sure that he stayed there. The cavalry came in, bought enough time. And all in all, a masterclass in how to choke the opposition.
But there's no time to breathe, Mama, because Team Xenon comes in from behind. They know exactly that Team Infinity, they're unsettled. They are still cherishing from the fact that they've just wiped out Team Electro. And right now, I guess they will try and use this particular situation to their advantage. Team number 5, they don't really have a lot of cover to work with. Team number 2, though, Team Infinity, they have a little bit of hard covers. They have few of the rocks and boulders that they can play around. Freak takes down Alpha elsewhere on the map and confirms another player as well. So definitely Team Jawbreakers, they're going in strong. But Shupan, he has M249 to work with. He can definitely spam in some bullets against Team Infinity. CM, he's tanking all the damage with his glue walls. I guess a lot of glue walls will be popped out. But then team number 5, they're still not falling back. I guess the intent is certainly there on the fingers. They want those triggers to be pushed and the bullets to be shot. Team Infinity, can they hold on to this onslaught? That is going to be the question.
Well, if they can hold on to it or not is definitely going to be the question. But you talk about Siam, though, he doesn't have a lot of time to work with. Sure, he has backup, he has a solid cover as well, but he needs to go out there and take that fight, take the initiative. Kingsman is going to be pushing in, deploys his glue wall, but is he going to be able to push in, though? That is going to be the question. A lot of damage being dealt, but he actually connects a headshot on Shifat, and that is going to be so unfortunate, but nonetheless, he still wants to go and get one more. Can he find the second? Oh my god, the backup coming in from Sando was so good. Solid. The way they played was a pure masterclass.
Absolutely shocked, to be honest. Kingsman running in with the MP5. I didn't really expect him to connect those shots. He just didn't connect one, but he connected twice, and he got those players bodied. I mean, all by sheer merit. That is something which doesn't really happen every time. Team Infinity, they have probably 8 kills right at the start of the game. We've just spent 10 minutes into the game, Mama, and now they have a new team to fight against. It's gonna be Team Jawbreakers. Cheetah just walks in, not just walks in, I would say he just crashes into the compound, and I'm not quite sure what is gonna be the plan of action for Team Infinity, though. But sadness, he has a shotgun to work with. He deploys the chrono shield as well as the glue wall to just protect himself from the flank. I guess he will, though. A cocoon of glue wall has been formed, but if a grenade pops up, I guess it is going to be the death of Infinity. Okay, so it was Cheetah who actually popped in the grenade and got Sando at the moment. Infinity, though, they lose a player. He is definitely down on his feet. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be revived. Nonetheless, the kill has been confirmed, and Nobin finds himself completely stranded. He needs to move inside hard cover, but will he be able to do it? I'm not quite sure. Siam Wall tries to jump peek and take down one of the players. Team Jawbreakers, they're definitely stronger in this particular fight. Kingsman trying to deal a lot of damage. Sadness takes down Siam at the moment. Kingsman is all by himself inside the compound. He is the last player standing for Team Infinity. After 8 kills, if they get taken down, this is going to be a dream being crushed. Team Jawbreakers certainly showing they can not just break jaws but also bones, and that is how exactly the entire team is going to fall like House of Cards. Team Jawbreakers, look at the way just rushed in. They rushed in and obliterated an entity called Team Infinity.
That is true. But the way JB has been playing... wait, did I choose Jawbreakers or did you choose Jawbreakers? Or neither one of us chose it.
Neither one of us chose Jawbreakers, but you did certainly talk about Jawbreakers when you saw all the teams. So, yeah, kudos for that.
Well, let's go. I'm choosing Jawbreakers now, I guess. But, a lot of early fights, if you look at it that way, because it's still the second zone. Sure, it's been 12 minutes. But we've seen a lot of players be eliminated. 8 teams, 28 players alive. And the UAV just going over plantation. So EXE will try. The best to say inside cover, but the push is coming in. Agent is going to go out there, but the Chrono Shield coming up. And that is going to save himself. Maybe just buy a little bit of more time for him to stay alive. The glue wall coming up. 2 glue walls actually coming up. The question is, is he going to be able to heal himself? Nope, that is not going to happen. Because the shotgun comes in. The nade, I think there is a nade around them as well. So the question is, are they going to survive to fight another day? It looks like it. Definitely looks like it. But look at that though. Jamil is going to try and stay alive. Can he find a knock for himself? Doesn't look like it because the other player is running around in circles, playing Ring of Roses. And Ali does actually have a fighting chance over here in this battle. Because the way he's been playing, he has a shotgun, but he's actually going to run away. I don't think Agent is going to realize that. The danger zone coming up. They need to get the hell out of here. Otherwise, they will definitely pay the price. And we've seen 2 players be eliminated by the danger zone in one match. And it's not a fun way to go.
We've seen a lot of players being eliminated by the danger zone. Not just eliminated, but sometimes getting knocked out in a position where you don't really want to be in. That is just so unfortunate. And definitely, you have to play according to the rules set up by the gods. When the danger zone comes in, you got to find yourself hard cover. Talking about Jawbreakers, they find Ambush Esports up next. Will they break their bones as well? That is going to be the question. Certainly, Cheetah trying to be fast, just like justifying his name, but on car though, not on foot. He knows exactly where Reflex is and will try and circle around this entire block that he has right in front of him. Free gets taken down and the kill has been confirmed by Reflex. And definitely Team Ambush Esports, they find themselves a numbers advantage to work with. Players jumping in inside the glue wall. Reflex gets taken down by the double vector. It is going to be Cheetah. Cheetah confirms the kill for himself, and Team Ambush Esports suddenly find themselves 2-man shot. Will they survive the onslaught? I'm not quite sure because Team Extreme EX come in from nowhere. Cheetah has been taken down by the grenade. Naimalam gets one particular player. I guess the kill has been confirmed of Fresher, and Nitrox is the only player who's still surviving. He runs away to safety, certainly, but he's still inside the circle. He can still go in for the placement points, but Ambush Esports, I mean, just like their name, they were ambushed out there by Jawbreakers and as well as Team Extreme EXE. This team, this has always been the case. They try and stay passive early on, but when they try and enter the final circle, they get ambushed by other teams or get third-partied even, and that is just so unfortunate.
That is definitely unfortunate. There's no doubt about that, but you talk about Cyanide, right? They still have all the 4 players alive, two kills for themselves as well. So even they've been doing well. So my outrageous picks are turning out to be sensible in this matchup somehow. And I guess that's what you call being lucky, don't you, Salty?
I mean, those were your second picks, so I wouldn't really calculate that. Team Infinity was one of my first picks. They got 8 kills early on, Mama. I'm gonna do that to you. I love doing that to you, and I'm gonna do it to you as well this time around. But talking about Ambush Esports, they get taken down, Mama. And I mean, we talked about how this team is not really showing up. They're certainly not showing up today as well, getting eliminated in the 8th spot in this match. Team Cyanide, though, they still have a long distance to go, to be honest. The match is far from over, and we predicted top 3 and not top 6 or top 5. So certainly, these teams, they have to rise up to your expectations, certainly. But yeah, Team Cyanide, they have been playing well. At least their positioning as well as the rotations, they have been spot on.
Yep, the rotations have definitely been spot on. And that is how you need to play if you want to survive in a situation like this. And along with teams so capable, it's never easy. It's never easy. But you talk about 77MD, he wants to take a couple of shots. He is going to reload his weapon, but he's not going to have enough time. And that was quite unfortunate. We have Kazi trying to push, and he's inside the shield, but he's going to survive though. The dual vectors coming up. Yes, indeed, he does take 1040, dishing out so much damage. The vectors were no match for them. And 77MD once again with the SVD, but we have Fireman going away, going ham with the nade launcher, getting a knock for himself. Hamim getting one. Jibon falling down, and the nades are going to start falling in. 77MD needs to go in, but he wants to take a couple of shots. Does get a knock, if I'm not mistaken. But Hamim is holding on to his car 98, trying to get a pick, trying so desperately to get a pick. But Nimir is going to find a frag for himself, but he needs to fall back. In the meantime, we have EXE making sure they have all the 4 players alive, but Silent Spartan getting 2 frags and increasing the kill count by 2.
Absolutely, Team One Man, they have actually taken a lot of hits from Team Cyanide, but Team Mask Boys though getting eliminated by Team Agents or Nope. I kind of remember, Mamba, that Team Mask Boys Jibon, he knocked himself out with a grenade launcher last day as well. Today, he kind of did the same thing, and it was kind of comic to me because a player getting himself knocked down by the grenade launcher, finding... I mean, that is kind of hilarious, and not just once, but twice. But talking about One Man though, Kunok is still out there surviving for his team, but he does not really have a lot of good positioning to play with. But look at that Fireman with the grenade launcher taking 2 players down all by himself. That was one hell of a shot, clearing all the spaces, but he knows exactly where Team Extreme EXE is. Akib, he will try and clear spaces for his teammates so that they can actually push forward. It is going to be really, really important. One man have been taken down. It is Fireman once again. This is going to be the last dance, Mamba. The last dance on Bermuda. A 4v4, Team Cyanide versus Team 8. It is going to be Team Extreme EXE. Both the teams, or rather Extreme EXE, have been really consistent. Kazi taking down Blade with a grenade. Blade will eventually be tried to revive, but that doesn't really happen. Blade gets taken down, but so does 77MD. Fireman is doing all the heavy lifting for his team. He has to first it gets to work with. I guess he probably could have healed himself up in this particular fight, but he just have a look at that. All he wants is to break those glue walls. Meanwhile, Spartan trying to use his Groza to go up close and personal and take them down. Will he do it? Yes, he does. He uses the Max 7 to his advantage, and this is going to be a 1v2 for him. He gets taken down in return. Akib as well as Fire1 are the last 2 players standing. Team Cyanide getting a booyah, and this was... I mean, it hurts me kind of because your prediction came out to and mine didn't. But, alright, I'm going to wipe off my tears.
That's why... Well, I don't know what to say, honestly, because I don't want to be too harsh on you. Given my picks were as outrageous as they were, there's a reason why, I am in general so outrageous with all of the things that I do. Of course, the banter as well before we go live. But a wonderful matchup, and the way this match turned out, I was happy because I'll be very honest. I had zero logic in my picks. I just went with my hunch, and it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. I mean, people are really working with their hunches and they're really coming out true. But to be honest, the match was more exciting than any other matches that I've seen in the Bangladesh Championship. It was full of action since start till the end, and every fight was so good. I mean, we did see a few of the knocks, a few of the kills coming in from awkward situations, but most of the fights, they were fair fights. They were purely based on skill and merit, and that is what you want, right? In a tournament like this, you don't want players to be dying in because of awkward situations. You want them to be firing in all cylinders and test each other out on the virtue of what they are capable of.
Test themselves by the worship of years. Zisan actually made a mistake taking that fight. He was a little impatient, I believe. And being in a 1v4 with a sniper with just a shield doesn't really work out. But the way Nobin played over here, God damn. There was an entire squad to work with. He goes in, doesn't care. This is the difference between Zisan and Nobin's fight. Sure, both were 1v4s, but over here, Nobin actually had backup from his teammates. He was in a good position where he had cover. And it was the other team which was actually pinned in. Now look at this. He goes there, puts in a glue wall, which blocks the entrance off. And that was just as smart as it gets. It was so good.
That is exactly how Team Infinity plays. Their plays are well coordinated with the teammates, and that is That is exactly how I love this game to be played. Just look at that. The way Kingsman flanks and receives cover fire from his teammate. That was so good. But Team Jawbreakers, they were outrageous in this particular fight. I love the fact how they got Santo early on. Siam Wow next. Nobody was taken down. I mean, every particular fight that they undertook, it was rather not a 4v4. But due to their positioning, due to their movements, they kind of made every fight a 2v1 or a 3v1 for themselves, which give them an inherent advantage to work with, and that made the fight so easy for them. And Jawbreakers, they certainly did that. But Team Asian, though, the way they took down Team XP, that was brilliant. I guess one player did manage to survive from this onslaught, but Jamil, he was there. This guy is always there to save Team Asian and give them some placement points, give them some kill points, even if the entire team doesn't really function. But this fight against Team Ambush Esports, Team Jawbreakers once again showed what they're capable of. Even though there was a third party coming in from Team Extreme EXE, but both these two teams, they really played well. But Ambush, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to think of this particular team, but I guess there is still a long way off their prime. I guess the best from Ambush Esports is yet to come, and when it comes, I guess they will definitely shock us, and I'm sure of it.
Yep, they will definitely shock us. That is true. But towards the end, though, Sinai, they already had 9 kills. Fireman with his shots and connecting them to the glue wall, connecting them through the glue wall, actually knocking down 77 MD. That was actually quite good. Even though Cavalry did arrive for him, but it was unfortunate that he could not survive. He could not live long. And it all worked out in Cyanide's favor with 10 kills, actually more than 10 kills over there. Getting that booyah. And just making sure that things work out in the favor. 12 for themselves, so 12 placement points, 12 kill points, and a total of 24. So that's a good start.
I mean, I love the fact that 2 players shared the 12 kills between themselves. It was Spartan and it was Fireman, 6-6 each. You want a duo like that? I mean, that is almost like not equal to a Mamba Salty duo, but yeah, it comes close.
I don't think any duo comes close to the Mamba Salty duo because there's so much ban and there's so much, backhand banter that sometimes I am assuming the viewers actually miss out on it.
Absolutely. I guess we should do a bloopers video as well. I mean, you can definitely do a bloopers video on your. I mean, it's gonna give you a lot of views. I can take a little bit of I can take a little bit of commission for that as well because my presence is eminent in the content, isn't it?
That is true. That is true. But we're going to move on to the game because I don't want to embarrass you even more, Salty. And the same man, though, is going to be Purgatory. And this is where logic does not make sense. History does not matter. Stats, well, who really cares about them? And this is the table turner. For me, Purgatory has always been a table turner. So I'm really excited to see which team actually comes out on top in this one.
Yep, the flight path matters, the circle matters, everything comes to a standstill when you talk about Purgatory. I mean, you can't just play this map off the drawing room or, theoretically speaking, you can strategize your rotations, you can strategize everything in maps of Kalahari and maps of Bermuda, but this match, or this map rather, it should be played based, wholly on the basis of pure skill as well as instincts. I guess instincts is going to be the biggest factor in Purgatory, and it decides what is going to happen. The circle decides what's going to happen. The rotations decide what's going to happen, and things are just so chaotic. Just look at the flight path. It was all across the river. It went straight down the river stream, and it definitely left most parts of the eastern part of the map empty and deserted. Look at the density of teams in the center part of the map. Brasilia might just be heavily contested early on in the map itself, early on in the game. But we have 3 or 4 teams in the Western Island, which is something which we generally don't see, Mamba.
Yep, we generally don't see that, but then again, it is one of those maps where logic does not prevail. I've always said that. I'll keep on saying that as long as everyone can hear it. And right now, nobody to a ski lodge, which is a massive surprise. GB2L will definitely head towards there because it's a high loot density area as well. But look at Gibbon. What is he doing there?
Even I'm not sure of it because, Gibbon has been kind of disastrous, to be very frank. 2 times he has exploded himself with the grenade launcher. Let's just talk about that later on because we have the current standings right now on our screen. Team Cyanide with 24 points. Certainly, that is a very, very good leap early on in the day. But Jawbreakers, though, I'm not quite sure if they were in the top 3, but 20 points, Mamba. That is surprising.
Yep, that is definitely surprising. You're right about that. But then again, the way... Wait. Oof. Did I just see the team counter, the player counter go from 47 to 48? I'm not quite sure. But if that did happen, definitely surprising. I think there's some voodoo going on over here. But we have a fight coming in between Zenin and one more team, if I'm not mistaken, that is Team Cyanide. The way, the team from last game who got a booyah. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all turns out. But Cyanide is going to lose out on the player early on. And I've always said it, logic does not prevail. The team getting a booyah could definitely be the first team to be eliminated in this matchup.
We've seen that happen because, I mean, I've definitely seen that happen. Teams getting Booyah and Bermuda and Kalahari, and when they come in Purgatory, they get eliminated in 10th or 11th spot, and that is just so unfortunate. Just look at Alamin. He probably will get another knock for himself. Cyanide flushing out a lot of duos to just protect their backs from Team Xenon and running away. I guess running away to safety was the best option because the kind of position they were in no... I mean, this fight, it was nowhere close to be even, but Gibbon gets taken down by Electro. We have seen how risky Gibbon plays. Actually, he tries to definitely go in an entry frag for his team, but I mean, I have never really seen that work out for Mask Boys. I mean, that is kind of being very harsh, but I kind of think that there should be a shift in roles for them.
Yep, that is true indeed. But right now, it's been a fairly slow start. Sure, we've seen a couple of fights, but nothing apart from that. And Onto is going to be shot at. Is he going to survive? Looks like it. Doesn't have a lot of HP as well. No heal. So he will have to use his teammates to make sure that he survives this fight. But I don't think he should be taking in shots right now. But then again, I think they understand the situation better. If they want to push in, they can be my guest. But I would recommend them. Then at that point, Endonto is the first contact because he's low anyway and he can beat the bait for sure.
Absolutely. On the elsewhere side of the map, we have a campsite where Team Ambush Esports are going up against Team Extreme EXE. Ambush definitely not on the right end of this entire fight itself. Kazi taking in a lot of damage. I'm not quite sure who is dealing the damage though, but Fresher, he still has the high ground advantage, but not quite utilizing it because Team Extreme EXE, they're smart. They're playing across those containers. Just look at that. Kazi taking down Fearless. And right now, Fresher, he has been deemed useless at this point with the VSS. He definitely, as I said, he has a high ground advantage, but Team Extreme EXE, they're not just giving any line of sight to Fresher. Fresher can't just utilize his positioning at this point, and all that he can do is what Nitrox as well as his other teammate, Fearless, fall to their graves because they're kind of stuck in a very obscure position, Mamba. Without any cover, I guess Team Extreme EXE can capture this fight even before it starts.
Yep. And talking about Fresher, he's just standing there in the middle of nowhere, making sure that he stays alive. But look at Fearless. I don't think he's going to survive this fight, and he's going to fall down. The nade coming in. Kazi knowing that Fearless was low, throws in that nade, gets a knock for himself. Fresher needs to push in. Is he going to be able to save his teammate? I think he can actually. He does have solid cover to work with, but at the same time, he's being pushed. 77 AMD, making sure that he does not give enough time to the opposition, but the chrono shield being popped off so quickly. It felt like it was a balloon. But he is going to go after him. He smells blood. He wants blood. Ambush Esports, the first team to be eliminated in the second map. Double kill.
I mean, I said for a fact, the fight is going to end even before it starts. Fresher's position, I'll say it for the third time, it was completely deemed useless. Team Extreme EXE, they were so smart and intellectual about the gameplay. They knew for a fact that there's a guy who is having a high vantage point and he can actually take us down if we try and rush in. They didn't do that. They played in cover of the containers and in tandem with their group as well as their teammates, and that just worked out so well. They got two players off guard out in the open and they just focused all their attacks on him. Fearless, or rather it was Fresher, who was completely ignored at that point. And when they got 2 kills, they knew for a fact that Fresher couldn't really do anything about him. Team Xenon, they find themselves right in front of another team, that is team number 1. The fight is definitely not breaking out as of now. Team Cyanide, they have already lost a player early on, and it was Team Xenon, I believe, who actually got the kill for themselves. But MVP though, we have to talk about this player. Fireman, the way he created space for his team, Mamba, it was just so good to watch. I remember the circle not being on Team Cyanide. Fireman flushing out those grenades with the grenade launcher, creating the space That is how you brute force your way into the circle, and Fireman was the guy to do the job.
Yep, he was definitely the one to do the job for his team, and when you have so many kills to work with, who else could be the MVP? Because it's a team effort, sure, but then again, we have individual moments, individual spurts of brilliance where players just step up. And I still remember Agent DXP had a player who went on to get 8 kills for himself in one match, and that's a lot of
Jamil.
kills. Yep, Jamil.
I mean, I'll never forget the player, to be honest, because the kind of performance he showed up that day. You might think that this is kind of outrageous, but I remembered the performance even while I was sleeping. I remembered every kill that he had. Eventually, I forgot now, but the day the game happened, I couldn't sleep because that guy was monstrous. I mean, I guess it happens with you as well. If you see something monstrous, you can't really sleep that night because every time it just keeps on playing in your head. Something of that same sort happened with me. But the circle, Mamba, is pretty trivial. A very ordinary purgatory circle, to be honest, which has Brasilia at its heart for sure. I'm not quite sure where it's going to close in because yesterday we saw that the circle closing in on the riverside, which definitely makes the game much more interesting. But if it shifts towards campsite or something towards fields, I guess we can see a lot of bodies fall very early on because there isn't really a lot of compounds to play with. Teams will be forced to flush out their glue walls as well as all their resources. And those teams, they're not going to last very long. So that can also be a possibility. But what I can say is that 50%, there is a 50% chance that the circle is going to end up in Brasilia.
Yep, there is a 50% chance that the circle is going to end up in Brasilia. That is for sure. But if you talk about Electro, they only have a kill. All the 4 players alive though, which is a good thing because then you can go on and play the long game. And towards the end, especially, have that extra set of eyeballs, which are going to help you cover the flanks, be an entry frag if you want. And all in all, just scout area for you. You have more area being, so well. And so you just want to make sure that the entire team stays alive and you can use 4 players in the most creative ways possible, Salty.
Absolutely. But this fight, though, Team Electro, they will find themselves in a very obscure position. They do have a Rish to play with, but they're taking the long route. They're taking the route from inside the blue circle because they know for a fact that if they try and take those rotation out in the open, they might get fired down. And that is exactly what I think is the right strategy at this point. Taking the long route, taking a little bit of damage from the blue circle isn't really a bad idea as long as you're safe and rotating inside the circle. They will have to loop in all across the circle and probably try and enter it from a different direction completely. But for the teams who are inside the circle, there is a lot of spacing in between them. We still have 11 teams to work with and 41 players still alive. So definitely the second circle has enough space to host all of these teams and all of these players. But when the circle closes in, out in the open, inside the compounds, look at that circle. That is one nutty circle, to be honest, Mamba. It shifts completely away from Brasilia. Campsite is out of the game. Team Extreme EXE, they will have a hard time rotating in. Look at Team Electro though. They're still trying to hug the blue circle. They will try and take down Mask Nibble because he is definitely one form of resistance that they might face, but getting inside the circle is going to be a pain. Thankfully though, most of the teams are already inside the circle and they can actually play with it. But look at Team Infinity's position as well. They are playing it across the riverbank and I'm not quite sure how they will use their position, but GB2L getting another kill for them. I guess the kills will start popping off, Mamba. From this particular circle onwards, we are going to see a lot of kills coming in.
Yep, that is for sure. We're going to see a lot of kills coming in because the sheer number of players alive. 40 players alive with 11 teams and only 7 minutes of gameplay left. So we're going to see a lot of action in the next couple of minutes. That is for sure. But GB2L, they don't want to stop. They want to keep on taking those shots and break the glue walls, the chrono shield, make sure that the utility is up and flaps. He's not going to stop. He's going to make sure that he keeps on taking those pot shots, but not a lot of utility is going to be left onto Electro and GB2L just being as aggressive as they can. And I love it. I love the intent. I love the idea. And more than everything combined, I love the execution.
Absolutely, but Fleps, he has to fall back because he knows for a fact that Team GB2L, they're completely spread apart. There is no trade potential in between them. Alpha, though, confirms a kill, confirms a knock from long distance with a sniper rifle, but Cheetah, just look at that. The grenade completely obliterates Team Xenon, and definitely I would have loved to see the grenade come in, but Skylip, though, takes down Electro Saf. Team Electro is having a hard time fighting against Team GB2L in spite of the fact that they're so spread out. Xenon, they've been completely eliminated elsewhere in the map, but talking about this fight, Mamba, I mean, I'm surprised for a fact that in spite of the fact that Team GB2L are covering so many different angles, Team Electro, they're having a hard time taking those fights. Yes, definitely the blue circle plays a part because they're forcing their way in inside the circle using the glue walls, but just have a look at it. Fleps, he's still trying to push in as many lead as he can against Team Electro, and only one player still survives. I guess this is going to be an easy squad wipe for Team GB2L. They've got 3 kills already. Shuvo is probably the last man who is still standing on his feet, Mamba. I mean, I'm not quite sure what are your thoughts, but I feel that this was really well executed from Team GB2L.
That is true. That was well executed. And I did bring it up. The way they played was really, really good. But right now, GB2L is definitely struggling. We have Shuo, who's causing a lot of troubles. Gets his first kill. Can he find the second as well? Does connect a headshot, but the trade is going to come in. Dark Cruise is going to finish him off, and GB2L only losing on one player in this entire fight. I think that's a fair trade. But they need to go inside the zone. Fleps is going to get knocked down once again. The question is it going to survive? We have a lot of first aid kits onto Dark Cruise, but Fleps needs to heal. He's not going to be able to survive that fight, and they've realized that. Now, Dark Cruise is going to go in. He's going to try and revive his teammate. This is... I love this. I love this. The fact that... Look at this. Look at the... Oh my goodness. The healing gun coming into the play. Dark Cruise making sure that he had enough HP, and this could be the clutch. This could definitely be the clutch which gets them the booyah, because one player could mean all the difference in the last circle.
You know what, Mamba? I remember the first match of the tournament. I'll talk about it a bit later, I guess. If this fight breaks out Team XP as well as Team Infinity, this can be a really, really important fight. Team Infinity, they didn't really have a very good game in the first match. They did get a lot of kills, but not enough positioning to make use of that. And now they find themselves in a very weird spot. They're outside the circle. The gatekeeping Team XP, who is coming in outside the circle as well. And I'm not quite sure how that works, because gatekeeping is only profitable when you are inside the circle and your opposition isn't. But team number 2, that is Team Infinity, neither they are inside the circle nor the opposition. So certainly things can go fishy if their strategy doesn't really work out. But I was talking about the first game of the tournament, Mamba, where I remember one player from Team One Man, that is Mola. He went in and revived 2 of his players from a very outrageous position, and that team went on to win the game just because of the fact that they have 4 bodies still alive. Had he given up on that particular situation on his teammates, he wouldn't have got the first booyah in the tournament. So that was one moment that I still remember, and I kind of felt like teamwork is really, really important, and that was visible over here. Team GB2L, they got all their players alive on their foot, but eventually...
Yeah, but if you talk about Tio, Kunok is going to be taking a couple of pot shots at the opposition. 7 teams, 23 players up on the server, 4th zone coming in. And Agent or Nob is going to find a frag on Lukazi, so that is going to open things up for them as well. But Agent staying alive over here is definitely a big plus for themselves, because they have the potential to go out there and get a high kill count. We've seen that happen before, and that does definitely give them a push. But then once again, you'll only be compared to 5 other teams and not 11. So not a lot of pressure that way onto the teams, that even if you're in the top 3, top 5, chances are you're going to actually top your table. But ultimately, the goal should definitely be to get the booyah, but Sadness is going to find a frag for himself. Nobody is going to get knocked out. Freak is the one knocking him out. But Kingsman almost being taken down over there, but he's going to be revived. The nade going in now. This is... Oh my goodness! 1 nade, 2 kills. How about that?
That was perfect cooking, Mamba. That is how you cook the meat. Of the grenade, of course, but this is going to be Team Agents or Nob, and Zishan is going to be the one who will confirm the kill on Spartan. And now we're left with only 5 teams and 18 players to work with. Team Jawbreakers, they've had such a splendid run of form since the first game today, and this team looks unbreakable. They were playing across the wall, and that is a very good position to hold, especially in this circle of purgatory. But look at that Hamim tanking so much damage from the play zone. He gets taken down by the play zone itself. This is not good news for Team XB. Baby Girl and Ali are the only 2 players who are still alive. Team One Man comes in from behind them. This can be very, very dangerous for them. Look at that Team Agent though. Even they are backstabbing Team One Man, and this can be this can be deadly because so many teams in so many directions, it is going to be very hard for the players, especially to take, to keep a track of where your teammates are going to come in. Team Agent, they will still try and push forward. They know the fact that they have to take care of Team One Man first, but Team Extreme EX, they take down 2 players. They take down the entirety of Jawbreakers. Not really, because Naeem Alam is going to capture 2 kills for his team, and he's going to eliminate Extreme EX completely. Sabir, though, he takes down Sadness, and so many kills pop off from Team Agent EXP. They're dominating, Mamba. They're absolutely dominating.
That is true. They've been dominating really, really well, and that is what you expect from a team of this caliber. 5 kills for themselves, all the players alive, and Jamil in the open. He doesn't care. He's not scared. He knows that he's going to live to fight another day. Gets 1 kill. Actually knocks down Zisan. Kidding me? He gets that shot through the glue wall. I don't know how he does that. I don't know how he has the confidence to do that or the anticipation. But that last shot was so good. And I was actually holding my face. When I saw that shot, I was literally holding my face because that was that good.
I mean, I talked about how Asian, they don't really go aggressive right from the get-go. We saw that in the first match. They tried to go aggressive early on, and they kind of suffered for that. But in this game, there are only 3 kills coming into the 5th or the 6th circle. And that just goes to show that this team, they prefer trying to be calm and collected when it actually matters. They know how to step up their gears. And when they do so, this team, they turn unbeatable. And we saw how they took down Jawbreakers, a team that was so good in form. They had such a good position to work with. Team Agent, they just walk into the circle, they walk in front of the opposition and take them down. They're like, all right, I'm going to take you on, I'm going to take you head on, and I'm going to finish you up. Can you do anything about it? You can't.
Well, you definitely can't. But 77MD was very patient away as well. He did not overextend per se, but he was very proactive in the fight. But then you talk about Sky. The way he kept on firing, he made sure that Electro was under covers. They did not have a lot of room to work with. And just all in all, maintain the pressure on them. And that is something that really helps your team, because that allowed Fleps as well at the same time to go out there and get those kills that he actually did. So good teamwork coming in from GB2L. But Fleps, on the other hand, a good user of the DMRs, don't you think?
Absolutely, I guess. The way Team GB12 actually functioned in this fight was the one, they created a lot of angles for Team Electro to cover, and that is how they isolated the players to different angles. Like, one player had to cover one angle, the other player had to cover another angle, blue zone coming in, they had to run in the open, they had so many things to worry about. And Team Electro, they kind of succumbed to the pressure that was faced in front of them. But this grenade, oh my god, freak, he calculated it to perfection. But this is when Team Jawbreakers were completely shattered. Team Agent Sabir, as well as it's gonna be Ornob, both of these players, they just walk in out in the open. They have no fear of death. As I say, I mean, these two players, they're like the Grim Reaper himself. He knows for a fact who is gonna die in which particular fight, and they know it, that it is impossible for them, it is impossible for anybody to kill the Grim Reaper, and that is how they display their confidence. Zishan with the kills with the sniper rifle, he's as consistent as ever. Like, even you and I, or rather humans for that matter, would probably choke in their aim, but Zishan, I don't think he does.
Yep, he does not. And that is a mark of a true professional player and a true champion mindset. Because if you can't handle the pressure well, playing on a platform this big, playing in a tournament this big is not something that you can easily do. And forget about winning the FFPCA, because it's a lot of pressure to work with. There are a lot of expectations as well. And you only get this chance twice a year or once a year, depending on, what the schedule is like, what the calendar looks like. But the very first time when you're competing in a tournament like this, it's immense. It's very difficult. And, 100 on 100 to Zisan to manage, so that because he managed to stay composed and being able to frag out like that.
Absolutely. I mean, I love to talk about Team Electro, though. I talked about how they try to tank the blue zone damage and try to loop their way around the circle. I kind of felt that they entered the circle at the wrong place. They had such an open field. They had a one team to battle. That was definitely not the right time to. I guess if they could have tanked the blue zone damage a bit more, they probably would have had a safer way to enter the circle. But that was it. I guess that was really a good game, to be honest, Purgatory. I didn't really expect it to be so well played across on all fronts, be it in terms of strategy, be it in terms of gunfights. We didn't really see a lot of outrageous gameplays, to be honest, but yeah, that is there. But Mama, you have some final words before we move on to the break.
Actually, nothing. Because the way you explain it covers it all. And of course, we saw two really, really good matches, two incredible outcomes. And at the same time, how do you manage pressure well? Zishan being the prime example of that. But of course, we're going to talk a lot more about this. Right now, it's time for a small break. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere because I'm going to go grab my coffee and popcorn. And we will be right back.
It's me again, Kelly! Huge thanks to all of you for the warm support to Free Fire esports in the past years. I know all of us can't wait to find out what's next for Free Fire esports in 2021. So today, I am very excited to share with you what we've achieved so far and what we are planning for this year. Let's start with our biggest esports event in 2020, the Free Fire Continental Series. By the way, I hope you still remember my terrific performance at the opening ceremony. We broke records with the Asia Series, where 2.5 million of you tuned in to us live. The America Series also had a peak of over 1.7 million live viewers. Meanwhile, the EMEA Series also drew in nearly 300,000 live viewers, creating new viewership records for us in the CIS and Middle East regions. Your support was absolutely amazing! The Free Fire family just keeps growing. You guys rock! The World Series, together with the rest of our tournaments, pushed Free Fire into the top 5 most watched games on YouTube in 2020. Last but not least, we won the Esports Mobile Game of the Year at the Esports Awards 2020. We are humbled by your passion and love for Free Fire esports. This award is yours as much as it is ours. Hayato, it's your turn to talk about the World Series.
Sure. We have continuously expanded our esports outreach throughout the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Free Fire Bangladesh Championship 2021. This is me, Salty, and along with me, I have one of my loveliest persons to cast with. This is going to be Star Tanya, who is going to cast the rest of the day. Tanya, how have you been doing, and how have you been enjoying the games that have happened in the first 2 editions?
I did see a beautiful performance coming from Cyanide, which was a little unexpected from my perspective, because all I see when Group B is playing, it has to be agents. The reason behind this is that they have set the bars so strongly. They have raised the bars indeed, and now there's no other team to contest them, according to me. And somewhere I felt that where were agents, though still standing into the top 5, and then for the second match, when I see them taking away a very strong booyah with maybe they were just one below the double digits, maybe, but they did it very nicely. So, yes, let's head towards the recap for the day, which is right in front of your screen. And here we go. It is round 1, Bermuda, very nicely played by Team Cyanide. They initiated quite too passively, but then gradually picked up the lead, went ahead with the unusual pattern of play, because they did take some kills in the mid, then again slowed down, then went away with the booyah. Then for the agents, as always, they always wait for the push. They always go ahead with the fight, and they have never did any sort of injustice to themselves. The reason is they play the best they have to. Even if they die with certain amount of kills. So due to that, they land into top 5 always.
Yep. That is exactly true. I guess even if they die with a lot of kills, and that has helped Team Asian to stay consistent as well as relevant to this entire tournament. They're still number 1 from Group B, so definitely the expectations are going to be very, very high. We talked about how Purgatory was not really a map where you have a lot of strategies working, where you don't really have a lot of things that you have to keep in mind. All you have to do is just trust your instincts and back yourself, back your skills. And I guess that is the reason why Team Agent really won in this game, because their raw skill is something which is probably a bit better than the teams who are still outside, who are still, in other groups, who are still even in their own groups. But talking about the other maps, so that is where the strategies come into play. And Team Agent, they will have to do their homework. They have to work equally hard to win in Kalahari forward.
Yeah, the Kalahari, the next match coming, the leaderboard changer, and the play strategies are totally, entirely different other than Bermuda and Purgatory. The reason is the geographical advantages and disadvantages. So, yes, we have headed for the third match for the day, and it is Kalahari. Yes, it is favorite for the players now. Usually, players used to get a little hesitant playing this because it was a little bit of riskier map, but now each and everyone has mastered over here as well, except for one uncertain thing, the zone. The zone doesn't let go easy any time around. Every time it is Kalahari, the zone shift is more deadlier than the players.
Yep, certainly. The zone shift definitely matters, and we saw that in Bermuda. That was not really a trivial circle. In Purgatory, the hard shifts were there. I kind of feel, Tanya, that according to the recent meta, at least out of the 7 circles, you might expect at least 2 hard shifts. That is exactly what I thought that was not really happening initially. But once things actually move forward, I kind of felt that 2 hard shifts or at least 1 hard shift is completely compulsory. But I guess we have a fight growing up. GB2L suffering death in the hands of Team One Man. And just to have a look at that, the Cruz only has a shotgun to work with. 2 of his teammates, Kylib as well as another player, both of them fall, and Team One Man get 2 early kills. But look at that, Molla has been taken down, and that is just so bad news for Team One Man, because this player Molla, I kind of feel like this is the player who just strings together the entire team together. He keeps this entire keeps the entire team holding them together as a unit. But talking about Team Cyanide, they're up against Team Extreme EXE. So, Tanya, I would like to know from you if you have some predictions for Kalahari, because generally your predictions are the ones which come really true. And that is the reason why I kind of feel like it is extremely compulsory for me to go towards you.
Yeah, sure. It is extreme EXEs. They do not wait and watch. Once again, these are also very good rushes. I watch upon them for the kills. Yes, we have not seen much of booyahs coming from them, but in Kalahari as well, I've seen very good sniper shots coming from them. And yes, I've seen them using the grappling hooker, with which they create an advantage of circle, or not circle, maybe. They use the advantage of height and use the sniper skills that they possess very wisely. That was for the extreme X's. Let's head towards the other 2 teams near to the refinery who might engage into the fight, and they were Team Zenin. We know the aggression of Zenin on day 1. We cannot forget that, how aggressively they started to play. Somewhere, somehow, I see them a little bit shaky, though they might come back. Still 1 more week to go, but nevertheless, we are today. It's the end of league week 2, so it's now or never situation, according to me. Since yesterday, I've been repeating it, because you want to go a easy pass through easy way through to enter the grand finals. It is a very tough call to pass through the plains. It is just like it is not next to impossible though, but yes, you are wounded, and the salt shakers and the pepper shakers are all upon you. You have to struggle through it. So, and yeah, no pun intended with your name, but yes, it can turn into the salty situation for them.
It can absolutely turn into a salty situation. I loved how you plugged me in. That was really cool. But then have a look at this Team Xenon. They will find themselves right in front of Team Mask Boys. Team Mask Boys, they're completely separated. There is no trade potential between them, and they can actually be isolated and exterminated. Mask Boys suffering 1 knock already. Gibbon is still bleeding to death. I am not quite sure if he will revive. Yes, he certainly will be revived, but nonetheless, talking about Team Xenon though, Gibbon gets taken down once again. Team Xenon, they have completely tagged the positioning of both these players, Ardeon as well as Gibbon, and it will be very hard for them to come out of this particular position. You were right about Team Extreme EXE, who were really aggressive, and I kind of feel that Kalahari is one map where kills are something which really matter. If you have to move inside the circle, you can't just move in with 0 kills. You have to clear some spaces for yourself. Look at that Chopin. He just rushes into the compound, walks away from the fight. I don't know how that happened, but he is in front of 3 players from Team Mask Boys. If he tries to engage all by himself, it can be really difficult for him, but then he has teammates to support him, Anando as well as Alamein. Both of these 2 players are there, and this can be really cool. Alamein gets one particular player down. Gibbon, he is down already. Shifat has been taken down though, but Team Xenon, they have 3 players to work with. Alamein gets taken down this time around, and Belal is the one who is dealing in all the damage. Chopin, he still has a double vectors to work with, and I guess it can be deadly. Ardeon gets taken down, turning his back towards Chopin, and now I guess all the responsibilities will come onto Shupan as well as Ananto. They will try and take this fight for themselves and try and seek revenge against Team Mask Boys. What can Team Mask Boys come up with? That is going to be the question. Ananto as well as Shupan, they try and flank each other out, but it is going to be difficult. They see a one player running right across their face. I'm not quite sure why they didn't shoot him. Yes, definitely they did. Nibir has been taken down and the kill has been confirmed. Bilal, as of yet, will probably run to safety because he knows for a fact that taking the 1v2 is certainly not in his favor, and he will definitely not get eliminated in the first, or rather be the first team to get eliminated. So he'll try and hold for his team, hold placements as well as points for his team, and that is definitely not wrong considering the situation he's in.
Yes, that is definitely not wrong, because when you know you are shouldering the responsibility of full team, you must go for the passive approach and save yourself until you can. But before that, let's see who is going to be safe out of here, because it is going to be Agent versus Cyanide, the two Booyah winners for the day. And which team gets eliminated is going to be a question, because I was expecting a repetitive Booyah coming either from the Agents or the Cyanides. Now it is only one team who is going to take away the fight, who is going to win away this battle right here, right now, into the foundation. Both of the teams went for the highest resource zone. Both of the teams does possess a good amount of utilities and resources. We can see that already. But yes, we're seeing the damage being dealt over here, and it is Spartan who knocks down Akib on his knees, and he wants to go for the confirmation, though not wanting to go for the confirmation. Indeed, he's going to go jump and shoot the other player, and now he decides to confirm the kill with no risk at all. And now there's third player who just bounced who just did disengage and took a fallback. It had to be Zissan with very less HP left to work with, and yes, it is a perfect decision once again. So Team Cyanide is overpowering Team Agents at the moment. We know the fire rate of Team Agents, and they made them run away. So Team Cyanide is building themselves so firmly, so strongly, that the topmost contenders, the top leader charters in the top slot, they are running away. So I somewhere think that Team Cyanide is pushing too hard for the practice, and they can be seen into the top two from their group.
Definitely, I guess Team Cyanide, the way they have improved, the practice is certainly visible. The fact that they push out Team Agent out of the competition, or even out of the fight, is a very massive thing. I mean, you rightly mentioned the way Team Agent had to fall back from the fight. It just goes to show the Team Cyanide, they're on a different level. This is probably Cyanide 2.0 that we are looking. I'm not quite sure about the top two finish though, because when the week 2 finishes, all right, it's going to be today when week 2 completely finishes. And after that, we're going to have a complete idea of how the groups are going to be positioned, how the teams are going to be positioned on the points table. And I don't think it is quite probable that in only 3 match days Team Cyanide is going to overturn the entirety of the points table. For sure, they do have another opportunity for themselves, because the play-ins are certainly there, and if this particular dominance in the play-ins, it can be deadly for the other teams. And certainly Team Agent is aware of that. Team Agent would want to be the first team to enter the grand finals. But talking about the scoreboard, just have a look at that. Team Cyanide in the third spot, tied with Team Agent EXP. That just removes all doubts from everyone's mind. This team certainly is playing neck to neck against Team Agent EXP, and this can be a very good news for Team Cyanide.
Yeah, Team Cyanide has already taken down 2 players coming from Agents, and now Agents are handicapped after losing 2 players. We cannot deny that. And now taking fight as a duos, and you know that it is going to be squad who is going to fight you out, and let's see if they are going to survive this situation, because if they don't fight this, they might stumble down into the next leaderboard, which I am very sure of Team Agent would not want. But if you talk about the Jawbreakers, no Booyah coming from them, but yet at top. So yes, it is all the kill points that they are bagging. They are not hesitating in taking any sort of kills. And here we are. Sadness has spotted Chupan right here, right in front of him, and he is already knocked down. I am afraid if there's anybody coming from Team Xenon to save him, because if we have looked through the mini map, I don't see anybody coming any closer. Team Electro just behind them, maybe join in. He might come over here to enjoy the treat, but no. Before that, Sadness confirms the skill, and we are not going to see Team Electro to come as a free entry without an invitation. But now certainly, with or without the invitation, they will have to intrude over here, because it is Refinery advantage of heights, and zone indeed will force them to enter the vicinity of Refinery.
Yes, certainly. The circle though has been pretty crazy. I would love to have a look at the circle. I couldn't really get an opportunity to look at it. I kind of feel that this is not going to be a trivial Kalahari circle. But talking about the MVP, there is no surprise. The man who has done it time and time again, it's going to be Agent Zishan with 5 kills. I mean, round 2 was completely dominated by this single player. The way he uses his sniper rifle is just magic to watch. And I've said this time and time again. If you can't stop Zishan, you probably won't be able to stop Team Agent. But I guess the fact that Team Zishan's sniper rifles have been quiet in this game of Kalahari is one of the reasons why Team Agent find themselves 2-man short, but still Zishan still survives along with another player. So definitely there is a chance. You can't really count out Team Agent. Even with 2 players, they are pretty strong. But I mean, I love it. I love the gameplay. I love how they've showed their performance. I love how they have asserted their dominance in this entire tournament. But if we talk about Jawbreakers, Sanya, they don't have a single booyah, but they're the most consistent team out of everybody. Jawbreakers didn't really have a performance to show off till, I don't know, today itself. But the kind of performance that they're showing today might just push them in terms of the points table. And I'm not talking about the points table at this point, because you know what? Like, when the week 3 starts, I don't think points are going to matter a lot, because the positioning will almost be confirmed. But it is all about confidence, because when you move into the play-ins, you want to be in red hot form. That is exactly the moment you want to be peaking in terms of your gunfights, in terms of your positioning. And Team Jawbreakers are doing exactly that. And so is Team Cyanide.
Yeah, and the main part is that Agents and Jawbreakers, they both are fighting from the same group. So the competition is not with the Team Cyanide, because they are from Group A. Whereas if you talk about Agents and Jawbreakers, these two are the teams, according to me, can be qualified from the Group B. Though we still have a lot of time to discuss about it, because we still have league days to follow. And let's see how. But before that, let's head towards Alpha, who's already knocked down, and GB2L eliminated in no time. We did not even get to see the exact fight, but somewhere we see the team EXE with 3 kills winning away this battle. The wrecked fate, the wrecked ship that I always say was definitely wrecked for the opponents, but somehow this team wins away. And now it is Jawbreakers entering against Team Cyanide once again. It is Cyanide taking away 1 booyah, but we cannot underestimate Naeem Alam and his team. They are always the aggressive players, going for the kills, though not winning away any booyahs. It's all good. If you take away the kill points, you still win it out. And it is all the consistency that matters. Consistency of the booyahs or kills, whatsoever their strategies. Cheetah going ahead for the grenade attack there, but let's see, is it going to connect or no? Because certainly Spartan will be close to and it is a grenade attack. Yes, definitely it did connect, but somewhere the player does get to fight. Cheetah with his double vector tries to take an entry, but somehow he realizes that there's one more player behind him, uses the blue wall, saves himself, and now it is Fleek once again going for the grenade attacks.
Absolutely. So much damage was dealt by Naeem Alam, but he couldn't really capture those kills because Team Cyanide, they have complete control of the compound for themselves. They're really playing it out safe and not overextending themselves. Team Jawbreakers, they need an opening, and I'm not quite sure if the opening is going to come through kills or through grenades itself. Cheetah trying his level best to connect one of the other grenades. The flashbang was certainly there, and he took him down while he was flashed. This is complete... I don't know, this is dominant strategy coming in from Cheetah, using the flashbang, blinding his opponent and rushing in. And now they have complete control of the entire thing. Blade, I guess, knocked himself with the grenade, and that was not a way to die, certainly. He will eventually be revived though, but Team Cyanide, they don't really have players to work with. Sparkdom as well as Blade are the only 2 players who are still there. The flashbangs come in, but I guess the kills will be confirmed. Naeem Alam has a shotgun to work with. Cheetah is the one who will confirm the kill with the vectors, and this is going to be free. He knows exactly where the final player is. Spartan was taken down not by anyone else but Cheetah, who come in with 3 kills. This guy was an absolute beast. He definitely justified his name as a beast in this particular fight and got 3 kills. But look at the grenade that popped in. I guess Nitrox is still not aware, but his grenade though will take down 2 players. Cyphers will shoot, both of them fall, and I guess the kills will be confirmed. Team Ambush Esports, they don't have to worry about anything, because I mean, Nitrox, just look at this player. With a single grenade, he wipes out the entirety of Team Electro. And this is just outrageous, Anya. The circle closes in, and there is going to be a fight breaking out between so many of the teams trying to close in. Team number 12, that's Team Jawbreakers with 6 kills. They are definitely positioned in a very good point inside the circle, but they do have a vantage point of the teams trying to enter. They know exactly where the teams are going to come from, and they can take them out. They can gatekeep easily. On the other end of the circle, we have team number 8, who is still very well positioned. That is Team Extreme EXE, another team that has been very consistent from Group B. And I guess the compound that they're holding, it is going to be very, very difficult to invade. Look at that. The gatekeeping strategy comes up right now. One player will break the glue walls. One player will break your soul. This is going to be Nitrox. And Nitrox, he still tries to hold on to his dear life, but I wonder how long can he do it, because this glue wall, it's eventually going to break. It's not a hard cover for certain Team Jawbreakers. They're just shouting in as much lead as they can. And Freshers as well as Nitrox, both of these players, I'm not quite sure how they are still surviving, but I mean, the fact that they are is just so good. I guess Fresher has been taken down. Nitrox is still out there. 77 MD, Team Extreme EXE, they are very much inside the circle, and they know for a fact that the teams are closing in on them. They have complete control of their compound, and they can play accordingly. I guess they will know for a fact what to when and what to press the kill switch. Jawbreakers, they have a lot of position to work with, Tanya, and I guess it is all about Extreme EXE, how they push forward and take down 1 or 2 players who are still surviving from the individual teams.
Yeah, let's see how they are going to do, because Kazi, if we talk about him, the split strategy coming from Jawbreakers was definitely not expected. Advantage can be backed by Team Xenon and Anonto, who is standing on the rooftop, and he can use this by knocking him down. And yes, one of the players from Jawbreakers is already down, and somehow Jawbreakers eliminated agents over here. So now it is going to be 4 teams alive and 10 players. The healthiest team by far is still Jawbreakers, not even lost a single one. Kazi down over here, 77 MD and Zico trying to take a close up on, and 77 MD trying to jump in, flanking within the window, spotted and eliminated. So Team Extreme EXE is eliminated, and it was a dominant Jawbreakers booyah. We can say it was a dominant one, eliminating team by team, and we cannot stop praising them. Once again, we are going to see them. They were the leaderboard charters, and they are going to be they are continuing it somehow, and very nicely, very nicely.
Absolutely. I guess this booyah, it was actually coming. The kind of performances they showed, they were consistently in the top 3. They were bagging a lot of kills. I guess it was just about time when Team Jawbreakers actually showed their true colors. They are not Jawbreakers just yet. I guess they break a lot of bones. The oppositions that come in front of them, they break the souls as well. That is Team Jawbreakers. And the kind of booyah they came up with, I just can't wait to see the highlights, because the way these guys played, it's just absolutely brilliant. They got to good positions, and they gatekeeped everyone. Every time they found themselves in a 4v4 situation, the teammates, the teamwork came through. Talking about Team Xenon, they kind of were in a very good position trying to take down Team Mask Boys, individually taking all those kills, because they were really good in kind of isolating different players and exterminating them. Anando as well as Shupon were the only ones who were still standing, and I guess these were the 2 players who completely wiped out the rest of the teammates. This was Shupon. I guess it was Anando who... Okay, so it was Shupon who got the kill of Nibir, but that doesn't really matter, because eventually they completely wiped them out. But the fight of Team Cyanide versus Team Agent, it was one of the talking points, Sanya. And you mentioned how this player Spartan with the double vectors completely wrecked out the soul of Team Agent EXP. 2 players from that particular fight, they did manage to survive, but that was all about it. Team Jawbreakers, this was the point where they started the dominance, and there came no end of it. I mean, we talked about how an opening is really important. The flashbang came in from Cheetah, and he just walked in, and afterwards it was all about his teammates Naim Alam, Freak and Sadness coupling up along with him and getting all the kills for his team. But I didn't really expect Ambush Esports to push as hard that they did. This single grenade wiped down 2 players, and that was just so cool. I mean, Saf as well as Shuvo, both of them falling, that was just completely outrageous. But the rotations were completely cut off by Team Jawbreakers. This particular place, it was so difficult for them to rotate. They had a complete open place, an open barren land to cover. With the use of glue walls, they did try to cover that, but I don't really think that was made possible by Jawbreakers trying to spray them down. They completely spammed them out of the server itself. Team Extreme EXE, they tried to hold on to their DLIs, but Jawbreakers, their positioning was much better. They played using this compound, and they know exactly where Team Extreme EXE was going to pop out from. And I mean, I can't praise them much. This team has been performing so well.
Yeah, I liked how the way they rushed in after putting a flashbang in. It was just the confusion. They created a confusion over there, a chaos over there, and then rushing in with the double vectors, taking one down, followed by the another, confirming the kills. And yes, that one grenade eliminating two players of Electro, and then rest was done by the damage of the zone. So these two were the very good highlights that I literally wanted to see, and I was shown. So I'm very happy about it. Yes, the jawbreakers literally went very smoothly, very flawlessly. So yes, let's head towards the current standings. We want to see how was the performance of the Jawbreakers. Yes, with one booyah and 61 points. Look at the difference. Extreme EX is no booyah, still on two Agent EXPs with one booyah and 34. Team Cyanide and the Agents are still sharing the numbers. One man following the lead with one number less. So somehow Jawbreakers with only one booyah and difference of 20 points plus. It is a good dominance asserted from them, and it is. And let's see if they are going to continue the same or no. But Agent and Cyanide, the competition is still on. One booyah still on the equal points after third one. No, none of them winning it out.
Absolutely. Team Agent as well as Team Cyanide. Both of these two teams, they've been against each other for a while. They've gone neck to neck against each other. And I mean, there has been no clear victor as of yet. Both Team Agent as well as Team Cyanide, they've been performing equally well. But I would say the Team Cyanide, they are a bit better in terms of aggression, because look at those kills. 15 kills. That is nuts. But I mean, I can't talk less about the fact that Jawbreakers, they have 36 skill points and 25 placement points. I mean, for sure, they have a booyah to work with. For sure, they were in the top 3 consecutive times. But I mean, how do you explain 36 kills after 3 games? I have no way of explaining what happened, but Jawbreakers, as I said, this team is here to break some bones and break some souls. 36 kills? I mean, I'm still completely shocked.
Yeah, that is 36 kills, and what a beautiful play. But after getting through the leaderboards, I noticed one thing, Salty. The top 3 teams are all from Group B. So somehow, somewhere, the competition is nowhere else, not with the Group A, not with the Group B. Sorry, not with the Group C. The competition is between Group Bs and Bs. Jawbreakers, Group B, Agent EXPs, Group B, Agent Group B. And I think the competition for Group A is going to be easier. They don't have to win much of booyahs. They don't have to take much of kills, because either they are in top 3s or no, it doesn't matter, because top 3s are being totally held strongly by Group B. So somehow we are going to head towards the next match for the day. Let's see who is going to dominate over here, because Group B is not ready to go lose at any single second as well. And now we are headed towards the Bermuda once again. We did see Team Cyanide performing very well from Group A, but yes, certainly or uncertainly, Team Cyanide is doing very good from their group. But total of 2 teams are going to qualify from their group, and I really like this. I really like this pattern, because you have to compete against your own team. So even if Cyanide is taking away one booyah or not taking away one booyah, it is Agent and Jawbreakers and Extreme EXs who are fighting within them to qualify smoothly. And now look at the flight path, because it's so central. Usually we don't get to see it this way, and it is heading from south to north, which is once again very rarely seen. So the spread out is going to be wide scattered and very good. I don't see any unusual fights brewing up very early on, except for the blue zone, which is going to be bullseye. I'm expecting 2 teams to go there at least, and those 2 teams are going to be Team Xenon and Team Electro. No, it is not Electro, it's XB.
Yeah. I mean, 2 teams certainly going for the high tier loot zone. They certainly might fight early on, but I guess Team Cyanide, they're actually taking a move out of Team GB2L. Akib taking in a lot of damage. He tanks in so much that he gets knocked out, and now he's on his knees. His skill is almost certain, and Team Cyanide lose a player out early on. That is not good news for them. But talking about the fight in Bullseye, we have Team XP, who is up against Team Xenon, and they lose a player early on. Baby Girl has been knocked down, and his kill has been confirmed. Alamin getting the first blood of this match itself. There says Team XP, who have a numbers disadvantage to work with. Will they be able to convert a 3v4 in their favor? That is going to be the question. Arthur will find himself a player right in front of him. Will he be able to capture the kill? I'm not quite sure. The time turner comes out. Both of these players, they kind of seem lost because they don't really find the perfect vantage point to play up against. And Alamin once again getting the second kill for himself. Arthur has been taken down as well. Team XP, they find themselves 2-man shot. Team Xenon find themselves 2 kills. They have complete control of this entire fight, and so they have the complete control of Bullseye. They can easily dictate the entirety of the fight that happens next up. But what can Team Cyanide do from this particular position on? All they can do is probably fall back, but they can also try and seek revenge for their teammates. God knows what's going to happen. But for certain, the first two fights, the first two kills were all because of Alamin's brilliance. The kind of reflexes this guy showed us, it's just outrageous. The first kill on Baby Girl was, we didn't really see that on screen, sure. But the second kill, the way he turned back, the 180-degree turn and flick was nuts, Tanya. It was absolutely nuts.
That shows how much time he spends on the training zone into the game. So yes, it was a perfect one, just on time and a perfect flick. So right now, a very big disadvantage for Team XB. Might be the first team to get eliminated because he's already left with only one player to play with. But let's head towards the Bhima Sakti strip. I see it very populated through the mini-map as well as on the screen. I see 3 teams are already here. But for now, we are seeing Team Electro. How this team was eliminated in the previous match just with 1 grenade. And I'm very sure of this time they are going to go for a safer play and indeed not stick to the edge of the circle, because that is where the push came up. They were not allowed to take an entry with that. Only 1 grenade and player gets down. So this time Electro is trying to go for the center of the map, which is very wise decision. And over here against them, it is going to be Team Infinity. We have seen their play as well. And for now, it is a TMZ. TMZ is holding the sniper tower. Who was holding the sniper tower? Did spot the enemy, doesn't want to take the fight, comes down, reunites with his teammate, and once again the team disengages. Indeed not disengages, but just currently they are avoiding to take any fight because there's no team elimination as of now. They want to save themselves, and right now there's no hurry as well because there's no zone that is forcing them to fight, that is pushing them to go up against any other team. And right now the zone is being sent. Both of the teams are within the circle, within the zone. So once again, there's no hassle, there is no particular reasoning to push up against each other.
Yeah. I must credit Dana, your observation skills are certainly on point. I didn't really notice the fact that Team Electro, they had a pattern going up. They did try to play the edge of the circle strategy, both in Kalahari as well as in Purgatory, and neither of the times did it work out. I mean, thank you for pointing that out, because that is so important. And now that they are positioned in Bhima Sakti strip, I kind of feel like this team, they're trying to do something different. Team Electro, they have been really consistent over the entirety of the first week as well as in week 2 as well. I don't really want to see this particular team get left out in today's play as well. So this team, they have a lot of potential in them. All they have to do is just try and hold their position and take the kills just like they do. They have a natural flair in taking kills. This is a very good team, and their synergy is good as well. All they have to do is just stick together and back themselves up. But I mean, I can't stop praising about your observation skills. That was right on point, Tanya.
Thank you so much. And now we are headed towards this Team Infinity. And yes, they are on the lower ground, still not hesitant to take any fight. Spotting Fresh over here, try to give the damage. Unfortunately, no shots get connected. It is Nitrox who is trying to take a counter fire, and Godspeed get eliminated at the Godspeed. Definitely, we did not even get to see a single shot over here. Fresh with his M249 trying to connect as many bullets as possible. And yes, they are connected very smoothly, but somehow the player reaches behind the fence, safe for now. But how long can he be saved? And I'm very sure of Ambush Esports, after losing Godspeed, they are going to give a damaging fight at this point of time. They are not going to go slow, because we have seen Godspeed is one of the best players, best supporters. We cannot say best player, but he is the best supporter for their team. He comes at the end, and now the end is gone. So it is going to be a big struggle for this team.
He comes at the end, and now the end is gone. We have to see what can Team Ambush Esports do from here now. But Mask Boys, they're rotating completely out in the open. They might actually get taken down, because we know for a fact how densely populated this region is. Shifat will probably find Bilal right in front of him, and Bilal is completely out in the open. He's all by himself. There is no teammate to support him whatsoever. And Team Xenon, they can completely gang up on him. This is a very problematic situation for Mask Boys' Bilal. And I'm not sure what the strategy is going to be. Like Chopin, he probably will identify where the player is and will try and take him down, but eventually they don't do it. Oh, wait a second. Did they not spot Bilal? Did they not spot Bilal?
No, they did not. He escaped right in front of the eyes, and it was so easy. He's still racing it out, and he's not getting spotted. Ooh, what kind of? They need to wear some glasses. Xenon definitely need to wear some glasses. Bilal running good way through them, and he's not getting spotted either. Bilal is, and now this is the time he gets spotted. Left with only 103 HP. He needs to heal up, and now the Nabino is knocked down. Mask boys are rushing so smoothly, and now it is all left to Ali. Ali is trying to race out of the fight. He doesn't want to even engage. He doesn't even want to come any closer over here. And Mask Boy's rush was definitely brilliant one, just running within the sniper tower, attacking and eliminating. Though only one player killed, but very good team support.
I'm still not sure what happened to Bilal. I kind of feel like Team Infinity, or rather Team Xenon, they were kind of feeling pity to take down a player who they probably thought was AFK. I don't know what happened, Tanya, but that was a comedy of errors. Bilal walking straight across the face of Team Xenon, and Team Xenon not even realizing it. I mean, we do have a saying, but it is in a different language, so I won't really talk about it. But Alpha getting taken down, Team Electro is definitely pressing the kill switch right now. They would want to capture those kills for themselves because they have a good position in Kota 2. I would love to see the circle and love to see the positioning of different teams at the moment because we still have 12 teams alive. Not a lot of action, Tanya, to work with. We have spent almost 8 minutes into the game. We have had only 8 kills right now. 40 players are still up on their feet. So certainly a lot of action remains. So hold on to your lungs, hold on to your breath. But talking about Jawbreakers, here they go. They start their ambush on Ambush Esports once again. Fresher gets taken down. Nitrox is almost on the verge of death as well. Yes, there he goes. Reflects the last one who is still standing. He might get taken down in quick succession. I mean, as I say, he did, and Cheetah was the one who captured the kill for himself. Elsewhere on the map, Team Infinity completely wipe out Team Mask Boys, and that was certainly one hell of a fight. But there we go, Team Asian. They rush in on Demon's Strip. We know for a fact that this strip is certainly not a peaceful strip. It is here for fights itself. Sabir goes up close and personal. Zisan, once again, with a sniper rifle, will try and provide backup fire to anyone he seems a potential threat to his teammates. But Jamil as well as Sabir, these two players are going to be the key. Sabir with the Max 7. Will he connect the shot? It is going to be Jamil with the Vector. Nonetheless, Siamo has been taken down. Nobody has been taken down. Kingsman falls as well. Team Asian, they're completely thriving on this fight. Only one player survives, I feel. And I'm not quite sure of which particular player it is, but he tries to survive himself with the cocoon of blue walls. But how long? How long can you shut down the onslaught coming in from Team Asian to esports? Not much. And there they go. Team Asian, they just completely brute force their way in, Tanya. Just go on.
This is what they are for. I've always seen they are always predetermined with their rush. One player standing behind them, giving the support, which is always Zishan. Shabir going in, rushing in. I mean, they have a particular strategy which seems to go in their favor every particular fight they pick. And I don't know how come. What a beautiful synergy in all four players of Agent. And I cannot stop praising their play. I would definitely say the way they are performing every single time, it is that we are a little less of words because we definitely go out of words. The way they are performing, the way they are rushing, and it is a beautiful one. And now we see the player of the match, the man of the match of the round 3, which was Kalahari with 5 kills. Jawbreakers, Cheetah with 1 kill at the moment. How fast is he going to race? Because Cheetah is the fastest runner certainly for his team with total of 5 kills.
Absolutely, the fastest runner on the planet and the fastest runner in the team. The name Cheetah goes hand in hand nonetheless. You are all praising about Team Agent Esports, so we'll talk about that a bit later. Skylib, meanwhile, gets taken down. Cheetah will try to confirm the kill for himself with the grenade, and he does that. The grenade was well calculated. He deploys all of them. Tanks a lot of damage though, but eventually this is Jawbreakers, and how easily do they wipe out the last 2 remaining survivors from Team GB2L Esports? Yeah, so coming back to the topic, Tanya. So you talked about how Agent Esports are really playing well. Do you see them as potential Bangladeshi champs at the end of the grand final? That is a very big prediction, though. All right, so be careful of what you say.
On the very first day when we had League Day 2, when we both started casting on that very day, I said that I see Agents in the grand finals. I don't know who is going to win, but I'm seeing them maybe into top 3 for sure, because we already have Jawbreakers as their competitors. We have Team Extreme X's who are playing very beautiful, tremendously beautiful. So I can't predict the winner, but yes, I see Agents in top 3 for sure. And for now, let's see this match. Now only 8 teams remaining. Are Jawbreakers going to eliminate Team one man or no, because grenades are on, and we know Cheetah initiates the fight with grenades every single time. He gives the damage, rushes in, and then confirms the kill or confirms the knock for sure if other teammates are active. Let's see if the strategy once again works in the favor. Naeem Alam trying to go up close and personal. How successful is he going to be with Mag 70? Definitely the gun that he possesses, he's going to go very smooth with the knocker.
Absolutely. Freak is very close to his opponents. He might actually get a knock for himself. Naeem Alam is the one who will get the first knock. And there goes the opening. Cheetah is going to come in from behind. Will they even coup? Mola... But going to be Cheetah jumping comes into play. Naeem Alam is the one who gets in Mola. And there goes the glue walls. There goes the kills. There goes the bullets. I heard the sound of the bullets and I was like, all right, team Jawbreakers are moving in. This team is moving in with intent. Once they press their fingers on the trigger, there is no looking back. You're as good as dead. And Jawbreakers with 9 kills right now, they're absolutely thumping on the competition. Anyone who comes in front of them, they will get wiped out in a matter of seconds. But will that be the case in the upcoming fight as well? Because there is another team, and I believe it is Team Xenon who is closing in. We'll have to look at that once again. It is Team Xenon and it is Team Agent, though. They're not fighting against Team Jawbreakers at the moment. Agent versus Xenon is going to be a very tough competition. Zishan gets taken down. We know that this guy is a backbone of the team, and once he gets eliminated, this can be a very, very tricky affair for Team Agent EXP. Nonetheless, Zishan is still back up on his feet. Team Xenon, they have so much to work with. Chupan has the M249. He can dish out so much damage and take down those glue walls as well. All Team Xenon wants right now is to diversify their angles. Just have a look. Shifat has moved in another compound. Chupan is trying to hold the double balcony compound for themselves as well. All they want to do is deny Team Agent any sort of space, any sort of breathing room. Ananto, he has the AK to work with, and that can dish out a lot of damage. Team Agent, they can be pincered down behind that shack, behind that hut, whatever you want to call it. Ornob does try to make an opening with the glue wall. It is going to be very, very important. Chupan can deal a lot of damage with the M249, not yet coming in though. Jamil tries to run in. He has double vectors to work with, and that can be very, very deadly. We know for a fact that Jamil is specialized in what he does, and he takes Ananto out of the server. One player down for Team Xenon. Team Agent, they are completely dominating this fight, even in spite of the fact that their positioning was not ideal. And at the moment, Alamin, he tries to deploy a glue wall and provide some sort of cover fire. The grenade though comes in from Shabir. He eliminates Team Xenon's Alamin, and right now only 2 players are remaining. Team Agent, just have a look at their fight. They're unbeatable at the moment. Sabir runs in. He has no fear of death at the moment. And Team Xenon, I'm not quite sure what they're thinking. 4 players rushing in on them. 2 players to form any sort of resistance. This can be very, very deadly. Sabir has 4 grenades to work with. Even if one connects, fourth one connects itself. This guy is a god for himself. I'm not quite sure how he does that. But Team Agent, look at their positioning. Look at how dominant this team is. Jabil will try and rush in. He will want to take Team Xenon out of the server, out of the competition in this match itself. Shifat gets taken down by the Max 7. The kill has been confirmed. Only 1 player survives. Team Agent with 8 kills. This team is as dominant as it gets. Naeem Alam gets 1 kill for himself. Zishan has been confirmed. Sadness with the grenade launcher. Team Jawbreakers are the one who will hijack this fight away from Team Agent. And there goes the House of Cards coming down, crumbling. Only 1 player survives. That's going to be Orno. This is outrageous from Team Jawbreakers. What is happening on Earth? I have no idea at the moment. Team Jawbreakers came in from nowhere, hijacked the fight completely. And there goes Team Agent. Only 1 player surviving from both Team Xenon as well as Team Agent, and Team Jawbreakers with 12 kills. They are the reigning champs. They are the ones who have the booyah to work with, I guess, in this match as well. Look at their confidence. We have 6 teams alive. 14 players are still up on their feet, but Jawbreakers, Sadness as well as Naeem Alam, they just don't care. They just want to rush in and take players down, flush players down into the pan. Kazi still trying to hold his ground. How long can he hold on to? That is going to be the question. Zico does have the M249, but what can it do? Nothing, because Saf is going to take him down. They confirm the kill as well with the Groza. Kazi with the M249 is the last remaining survivor for his team, but instantly will get shut down by Sabir from Team Electro. This is action at its very best, but it does not stop because Jawbreakers, they rush in as well. Team versus Jawbreakers might be a reality. The grenade launcher is being spammed. Shuo gets taken down. This is Cheetah. He might actually rush in with the double vectors. At the moment, Team Jawbreakers, Sadness is just raining hell upon everyone else. Sadness taking both Sabine as well as Saf down. And only one player survives. Sadness might just get revived. Not really, because Zed will confirm the kill. 2 players to work with, but I don't think Team Jawbreakers will be worried about it. Just look at the number, Tanya. 14 kills to work with. 4 teams alive. 5 players on their foot. This is the only team that has 2 players still surviving. They have the highest chances of getting the booyah in this one as well. And I have no idea absolutely what's happening. They wipe out the 4th squad of the day. 15 kills. Team Jawbreakers. My word, you're killing me at this point.
Absolutely. What a play. Every rush they take ends with a triumphant victory. Let's see if this match is going to end with a booyah or no. With 2 players to work with, 15 kills already, they still do have 2 players to kill. So if they do it, it is going to be 17 kills. By far the maximum kills any team has secured. So let's see how is it going to be for Agent EXP. Yes, the last man standing for his team. And Xenon, it is Shupan, who is also the last man standing. So it is a 1v1 versus 2 players to fight with. And Arnav with his sniper, he's trying to spot any enemy possible, and yes, the player is spotted. Damage has been dealt, but Naeem Alam uses the glue wall right on time, saved himself for now. And if you talk about Cheetah, he doesn't want to engage into fight once again. He wants to go with the same strategic play, grenade damages and then rush and give the complete elimination. Is this strategy going to work once again or no? Because Arnab now, he needs to enter the circle for sure, because they are playing on the edge of the circle. And if we talk about the team Xenon, how nicely Shupan is hiding himself with grenade launcher in his hand, 1 grenade attack, and maybe the 2 players get eliminated. All he needs is a precision of aims. He can eliminate Jawbreakers at this point. So yes, the intensity is rising. It is the nail biting moment as agent for the team Xenon as well as Jawbreakers. The advantage of number definitely lies in the hands, and this is the grenade launcher I was talking about. No, doesn't get connected, and wow, gets connected. The second one, agent down. 1v2 situation, no HP for himself. He doesn't even heals himself. 1 player down. All he has to do is a 1v1 situation. But somehow he could not do it. Jawbreakers did it, not with the 17 kills though, but yes with the 16. Yes with the 16. So yes, 4 squads wiped off.
I just don't know what happened. It was hell. It was an absolute hell. Team Jawbreakers, they were not playing free fire. They were here for manslaughter. They were hunting down players at their own free will, and I just don't know how was that possible. They were taking teams down at their own free will. Teams are trying to come in. I love the way how they hijacked the fight of Team Agent EXP. But once they got that positioning, I mean, every other team was taken down. Jawbreakers, you have my respect. If they continue to play like this, it's going to be very hard to shut them down. Team XP, they kind of wanted to go up close and personal with Team Xenon, but Alamein returning the favor. But Team Agent, this fight was really, really important. They completely dished out, they completely wiped out Team Infinity off the server. Team Agent was playing really good, Tanya, don't mistake me. But Team Jawbreakers, they just completely outshined the performances. They just completely outshined the efforts which Team Agent had put forward. I have no words at this point. I mean, just how can you do it? How can a team manage 17 kills in a game?
They are Jawbreakers and soul breakers, just like you say. Many souls are broken at the moment, and yes, with the fear as well to face Jawbreakers. But somehow the rush that came from Agent was not much of necessary. They could have taken their time, because they were just trying to fight against Team Xenon. After eliminating 3 players, they just tried to rush within the squad house. That was already being contested by Jawbreakers. Not much of a necessity, but somehow they wanted to fight it that way. And yes, the fight did not end into their favors, but yes, Jawbreakers, the shredding machines, shredding away every opponent coming right in front of them, and very smoothly and flawlessly. This is where they started taking the rush very hastily. I didn't expect the agents to just run through their houses, and expecting that the players who are already holding the squad house, yes, agents do give such a smooth and flawless rush, but you have to decide they are the Jawbreakers against you. You need to build up the same strategy which agents has. 1 backup, 2 assaulters, 1 rotator. So they did not go with their flow, and hence eliminated. But somehow Jawbreakers, 14 kills over here. They lost 2 players. Still not scared a bit, not even having a single sniff of fear at this point, and still rushing in, eliminating Electro. Left out to 4 players remaining, 2-1-1.
Yeah, I mean it was 2-1-1, but look at the kill sign. It is 1-3-4-6, and this number it grows even bigger. The way they were getting kills is outrageous. I don't even think that Team Jawbreakers had to break a sweat. But nonetheless, it was up to Chopin, who didn't really heal himself up. He did have 4 first kits, and I kind of wonder why didn't he heal himself. But Naeem Alam confirmed the final nail in the coffin with a max 7. So yeah, I mean Jawbreakers, once they started their onslaught, they didn't really look back. And that started pretty early on in the game. They were wiping down squads at their own free will, and that is just outrageous. Team Agent EXP, you rightly mentioned how Team Agent EXP kind of faltered. They were continuing the fight against I believe it was Team Xenon, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was Team Xenon. So the compound was completely under the control of Team Xenon. Team Agent TXP, they manage a wonderful rush in, uses the glue wall, one player goes in, they connect those grenades to get the openings, and once you get such openings, it is really hard to counter. Team Xenon, they had no reply whatsoever because Jamil, Sabir, these guys, when they rush in with the vectors, it is just so difficult to stop them. But Team Jawbreakers, they knew exactly what to do, they knew exactly when to stop them, and they did so.
Yeah, absolutely. They did it very beautiful. And yes, guys, we will just be back with 2 more matches to go. So stay tuned. And as I always say, get your water break and get some snacks in. We will be right back in no time.
It's me again, Kelly! Huge thanks to all of you for the warm support to Free Fire esports in the past years. I know all of us can't wait to find out what's next for Free Fire esports in 2021. So today, I am very excited to share with you what we've achieved so far and what we are planning for this year. Let's start with our biggest esports event in 2020, the Free Fire Continental Series. By the way, I hope you still remember my terrific performance at the opening ceremony. We broke records with the Asia Series, where 2.5 million of you tuned in to us live. The America Series also had a peak of over 1.7 million live viewers. Meanwhile, the EMEA Series also drew in nearly 300,000 live viewers, creating new viewership records for us in the CIS and Middle East regions. Your support was absolutely amazing! The Free Fire family just keeps growing. You guys rock! The World Series, together with the rest of our tournaments, pushed Free Fire into the top 5 most watched games on YouTube in 2020. Last but not least, we won the Esports Mobile Game of the Year at the Esports Awards 2020. We are humbled by your passion and love for Free Fire esports. This award is yours as much as it is ours. Hayato, it's your turn to talk about the World Series.
Sure. We have continuously expanded our esports outreach throughout the world, and the number of participating regions have grown massively. We started with 9 regions at our very first international tournament, the Free Fire World Cup. Over the past 2 years, our esports community has grown to include India, Russia, the Middle East, and the Pakistan regions. Our plans to grow further do not stop here. And in 2021, we'll be adding Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Philippines as competitive regions.
Yay!
Next, we're proud to present the brand new logo and format for the Free Fire World Series, our largest and most iconic tournament of the year.
Welcome once again. Yes, it is Free Fire Bangladesh Championship and we are still on the league days. But yes, the intensity is not just as of the league days. It is as strong as the finals or planes. Maybe the Jawbreakers are not letting us to take a single breather. And we both want it that way, Salty. So what are your expectations coming from Jawbreakers? Is it going to be same one? Or now we are going to see them a little low? Yes, the final Booyah does take an entry with certain kills. So what are your expectations from here on?
I kind of feel like Free Fire is not like a vehicle which is completely filled with fuel, and once the vehicle travels, the fuel kind of diminishes. I kind of feel like once a team goes on in red hot form, they're not stopping. It's not like Jawbreakers will be feeling like, all right, guys, we're feeling a bit tired. Now let's just take some rest, because I feel that they've done enough for today. The kind of damage that they have dished out to the opposition, the kind of lead that they have established at the top, it is going to be I mean, it is going to take a miracle to overcome that, and even in 2 matches. But I don't think that's going to stop Team Jawbreakers. The way they have been thumping their opposition, they want to continue that as well, because we know for a fact this is when actually the business end of the tournament starts. We have to move to the play-ins as well as the grand finals. So things are going to be heated up pretty soon. We're going to have a look at the map recap, and I mean, I have nothing really to say. The recap does show that Jawbreakers have had 2 consecutive booyahs for themselves, but the scenario, it extends even beyond it. They have been consistent. They have been top 3 in every game that they have played, and that is the reason why when we move on to the scoreboard, Tanya, we're going to see a huge difference, a monstrous difference between team number 1 and team number 2.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to see monstrous difference. But yes, the repetition, what we are going to see is all the top three are going to be from Group B because we have seen Agent X is performing so smoothly. We did see the flawless wipeout of the team Zenin with only last man standing. And somehow the last man did stand until the final circle, which is gradually eliminated by Jawbreaker. So Jawbreaker is definitely threat to both the teams, may it be Agents or may it be Zenin. So my expectations are still too high coming from Agents, and I would not deny, I would not take my words back. But let's see if this match, the next upcoming match for the day, is going to be comeback for Agents, because we have seen Agent winning away 3+ booyahs on a single day, and it is Jawbreakers on the verge of hat trick. So the question is, are they going to go for the hat trick this time and having Purgatory on the screen? And yes, it is the slowest map, I say, being the biggest one. Is it going to be less intensified or with full of heat? The only time is going to show us. But if we talk, the flight has already taken off and the player have already started ejecting out, and they have already made the decisions which player, which team wants to go where. It is the team Zenin who are heading towards the quarry for the best utilities, and yes, team One Man are following the lead.
Absolutely. Early fights are something which I expect from Purgatory, because this entire map is just so chaotic. You can't really predict what's going to happen. You can actually do it in terms of Bermuda, in terms of Kalahari, as I always say. You can play it according to the drawing boards, you can play it according to the rules, but in Purgatory, those rules don't really matter. As of now, we have 2 teams in Brasilia. It's going to be team Jawbreakers once again, because they are the team who with the highest level of confidence at the moment. So they definitely will try and capture the biggest city in town, biggest city in the map. But in the outskirts, they are coupled with Team Ambush Esports. And Ambush Esports is a team which hasn't really shown ourselves, which haven't really shown us the kind of potential they possess, the kind of firepower they have. Team Ambush Esports, they probably came in top 3 once today, but apart from that, they haven't had a performance which is something to show off. We have one team in Moat House, and that's going to be Team Agent TXP. That is their usual drop location. We have seen them do it time and time again, and they've been successful with it, so I don't really think there's going to be any reason for them to change that. One team in Ski Lodge, 2 teams in Campsite though, and that's kind of interesting, Danya, because Team Extreme EXE as well as Team GB2L are the kind of teams who take early fights, but Extreme EXE is generally the one who falls back and take the fights later on. But GB2L, this is a team that goes in head on right from the get-go, and it'll be interesting for me to watch out how this team actually manages the fight against Team Extreme EXE, who are a very tough competitor from Group B. But nonetheless, you can't really count GB2L out of the game itself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen GB12. Maybe today it's not their day, but somehow they are going to be the first fraggers for the day. And I don't think 77 MD is going to be saved. And yes, he couldn't be saved. He was far away from his teammate. I don't know what made him run so far away. That is what I say. Going away, flanking away, scouting out is good, but not very good when you go to the extended levels where your teammates cannot provide you any sort of backup. Now, Kazi heading towards the revenge, spotting one of the players. Yes, Chrono Shield is making it more easier to spot the enemy right now. Did some damage, but somehow, somewhere, the players are getting escaped. It is Fleps who is already out of his shooting range, and yes, he's only one. He is again left out from his teammates. I don't know what for Extreme EXEs. They don't need to take such sort of aggressive decisions so early on, running away from your teammates, trying to take a fight. But somehow, Kazi did take one knock, and yes, they're going to head for the confirmation. Hamim uses Chrono ability for now, and let's see how are they going to go ahead. But somehow, advantage is still with Extreme X's. The reason is they are into the cluster format. They are going to revive the teammate no sooner.
Absolutely. I mean, even though this location is known as Campsite, I don't think teams come here for a field trip. I don't think teams come here for a gala time. Especially when you drop in on campsite, you have to expect fights early on because this region is just so out in the open. Even if you have to loot, you have to venture out in the open, and that is when you're vulnerable. And if you're vulnerable, you should expect to be shot, and that is exactly what happened. Team GB2L, they have a kill for themselves to work with. Extreme EXE falling back from the fight. That is a good decision though. But how long can they continue with the 3 men alive? I'm not quite sure of it because we know for a fact how important it is to have all your players alive till the final circle. If you have it, you have a massive advantage. You almost have a 30% to 40% probability of winning the game towards you if you have 4 players inside the final circle. Talking about fights, the loser is the one who will confirm a kill for himself. Shifat is the one who will go down. The circle is already on our screen, and I wonder where the circle is actually going to end up in. But Brasilia, the fight, we know for a fact that Jawbreakers and Ambush Esports, for that matter, are the ones who are hurled up in this big city. But eventually, the spacing between them has actually decreased. And Jawbreakers, all they have is the intensity to fight. They are certainly intent in making this fight a reality. And Cheetah is definitely going to move in. The grenades do pop up at the time Turner comes out in time. Freak is the one who is taking a lot of shots, but not really dealing a lot of damage. The fight is going to break out pretty soon, Tanya, and this is going to be one hell of a fight. I want to see how Jawbreakers continue the momentum from the last game.
When I want to see that, how are they going to take the momentum? But right now I see Mask has spotted one of the players. He was running away from his teammates and now he's getting finished. And the kill has been confirmed. This is the second kill coming from Mask Boys at the point. But once again, Cheetah with his grenade attacks, damaging the opponents with the grenade and then rushing in with the close called submachine guns or the shotguns as well. We have seen him using both of them. So it is his basic strategy. But somehow Ambush Esport has made an entry as a trio, and now they have to fight it out as a trio. So how strong are they going to fight it out? Because it is going to be squad versus a trio. And as you said, one player also matters a lot, because the reason is it gives a difference of 30 to 40%. Oh yeah, Anonto is down, and now Shupan with his double vector. I don't think he's trying to go to the revival for his teammate, and Kado wouldn't make it any easier using the sniper shots with not even letting it a single second wasted over here, taking the jump and shot attempt, and the attempt was successful. Kunok taking away the first kill for his teammate. And how, look at the team one man, how uniformity is, one player, one kill each.
Absolutely. One player, one kill each. That is exactly how you want the kills to be distributed. Because I know for a fact, Tanya, like if in my team, one of my friend gets more kills than me, I'm going to be very, very jealous of him. And so we generally have this competition, this inner team conflict. Who is going to get more kills? I'm sure you have had the same experience as well. For that matter, though, that doesn't happen in professional circuit, if the audience is wondering. All that matters is getting tier kills for the team. But yeah, if you're playing casually, yes, there is going to be a very big brawl for kills.
Yeah, definitely. It does happen that way, and we even tend to boast that I have taken more kills than you. I'm a better player. That is always a competition. But at this time, it is not going to be the scene, being such a big tournament, such a big and by far the biggest event happening in Bangladesh. So they are going to make the most use of it, and they're going to help out the teammates to take as many kills as possible. Just like we saw in the team Jawbreakers, we did see Cheetah with the Cheetah speed trying to race out of his teammates, getting the best kills possible. But somehow, when he had to surrender, he did go for a flank where his teammate could take the advantage, and we did see a perfect play coming from Jawbreaker. So yes, if you're playing just a random play, you can go whatsoever, do whatsoever you want. And over here we are having the scoreboard right in front of our screens, and once again we are going to see who is charting the leaderboards. But no guess is made. We are very sure of Jawbreakers with their consistent play. It is a total of 89 points, and as we discussed, Salty, the difference is humongous between the number 1 and 2.
Absolutely. It is almost a 40-point difference between team number 1 and team number 2. And the difference between team number 2 and team number 3 is just 6 points. You can imagine the level of dominance that Jawbreakers have shown today. But I'm impressed with Agent EXP though. This is one team that has continued their consistent run of form. And that is something which I always love to see, you know. Like you will like I always say this, a team, when they are playing in the professional circuit, they will have their days, to be honest. But it is not those days that is so important. It is the consistency that is really important. Sadness getting 6 kills in round 4. That is expected of him. With the grenade launcher, he was outrageous, taking everyone down. I loved how he opened up fights for his team, especially he allowed players like Cheetah to just walk in and take those fights up close and personal, because the other players, the opposition players, they're just so scared of Sadness grenades. They know for a fact that Sadness is going to come in and launch a grenade at their face. They're going to blown apart to pieces. But then if the grenade doesn't connect, it's Cheetah who runs into their face, and they're not even expecting that. And that comes to it as a surprise. And that has really worked for Team Jawbreakers. So yeah, that's that. But as I said, I always favor consistency more than one booming performance. It'll be interesting to watch out if Jawbreakers can actually continue their run of form to week 3 as well. But for today, I don't really see this team slowing down. I feel that this team, they might just cross the 100-point mark.
Yeah, they might just cross the 100-point mark, and they are so flowy, they are so smoothly sailing. Like there's no wave that is hindering their performance. They are just eliminating each and every problem that is coming their way, or any opponent that is coming their way. And I like how all the teams are hiding themselves into the small houses built over here, saving themselves from red zone. And yes, red zone has taken its time, went away, but still any of the team doesn't want to engage into any fight. And Brasilia is the location where you can hold on to as long as zone is not hindering your presence. So yes, I think it is going to be Team Cyanide who wouldn't want to move opposite them. It's Ambush Esport. We did see the performance coming from them, and I see one of the player from Team One Man is eliminated, which is going to be Kunok. I did not get to see who killed him, though I did see the uniformity between them. All 4 players alive with one kill each. Let's see how are they going to perform as a trio. Somehow, somewhere, I see Team Electro's one of the player is hiding just on the edge of the circle. He does have the advantage to take the backstab, but will Team One Man allow them to take away with the backstab, eliminate them? Because I see other players of Team Electro have raced out of the zone. They don't want to take any fight any further.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I don't really understand what is Team Electro's strategy. One player is still perched up in the corner, still trying to hold it out against Team One Man, while the rest of the players, they just raced out of the fight zone and are trying to move inside the circle. So, yeah, for sure, they're trying to hold down Team One Man's rotations, but then they could have just escaped that position and tried to venture out towards the circle, because that is not going to pay them any dividends of any sort of sorts. But talking about the circle, Tanya, this is a very important circle. We have seen water circles over the past 2 days, and this is no different. Riverbanks are going to be so important. The team who is going to get hold of the bridge is going to be so benefit. Is going to get so much benefit from that particular position as well. Brasilia is going to be one hot spot where there's going to be a lot of fight coming in. But once the fight cools down from Brasilia, I guess everything is going to come down to the riverbanks as well as the bridge. We have seen bridge endings over and over again. We have seen the team that actually gets control of the bridge has some sort of advantage to work with. But we'll have to see if that is the case as well, because you can't just base out a theory on one particular instance. You have to see it time and time again. And only if it works a couple of times, only if it works, say, 4 or 5 times consecutively, that is only when you can actually form a theory out of it.
Yeah, after that only we can form a theory, and I'm sure we will, because we are getting to see this sort of circle over and over again. And I did get a view of Agent how sneakily they have entered the circle without taking any sort of fight. And yes, they did cross over Brasilia, still saving themselves. But right now, we talk about Team XB, 3 players remaining, all 3 players risking themselves into one sniper tower. If Mask's player decide to throw a grenade, and if it does get connected, they're going to bear a very unrepairable loss. So I'm very sure of if holding this position is making them any feel safer, they are not at all safe.
Absolutely, they are certainly not safe, because Mask Boys, they know exactly where the target is. Perched up in one single sniper tower, a single grenade can completely wipe them out to oblivion. So that is something which we have to check out for. Team Mask Boys, they're kind of trying to separate themselves and spread out the angles, so to make life even more difficult for Team XP. But that kind of comes in with a trade-off, because there remains no trade potential between you guys. And if one of the players get knocked out, then it just becomes so much more difficult. But look at the circle, Tanya. It is still favoring the water side. It is still favoring the river. And I guess it is now, it has completely exited Brasilia. So that makes a fight in Brasilia so much more important. I would love to have a look at what's going on there, because we saw 2 or more teams perched up in Brasilia. Only one of these teams or 2 of these teams are going to make their way inside. Electro go up against Team One Man. This is going to be Shuvo. He's still trying to survive. The vehicle is not going to tank the damage because Kiro is going to take him down. Team One Man, Loser is going to come back to his feet. And certainly, only one player. He tries to survive with the use of the vehicle. I'm not quite sure if he's going to tank all the damage from the blue wall, from the blue circle, as well as from the vehicle blast. But nonetheless, Mola couldn't really confirm the kill. Team Electro, they live to fight another day.
They are going to live, and I found it funny. He was being shot and still he was on the verge of racing with little 2 to 3 HP left. He still hold on to his car, and then uncertainly he does get knocked. He made a mistake. He paid for it. But if we talk about Team XB still holding the same sniper tower, now they at this point of time they have the advantage of the sniper tower. They can gatekeep. But at this point, it is Team Infinity who is trying to fight against the last man standing of Team Electro. Just where I said they stand an advantage point, they certainly do not, because the zone shift was very cruel, very brutal to them. It has now been using the shotgun, trying to take as close shot as possible, and now 2 players left onto the sniper tower. Santo somehow connects the shot and Team Electro gets eliminated. Yes, this is the risk you have to pay for it. This is the price you have to pay when all the players stick to one single sniper tower. Now it is Duck Cruz who is trying to engage, fight against the Mask Boys. They see the Mask Boys are tacking up the damage very smoothly as of now. They have the hard cover, they can heal up themselves. But let's see how easily are GB2 going to let them stay alive this way, because all of the teams standing up here, standing still, they all have to rush for the safe zone.
Yes, they do have to rush for the safe zones, and they don't really have a lot of time to do it, because only in a matter of 50 seconds, the zone is going to close in. Look at that Team GB2L. They know for a fact that they have to move inside, and that means that they take a fight against Team Mask Boys, and that is not going to be easy, because Team Mask Boys, they're perched up in a small compound for themselves. One single grenade can actually flush out a lot of kills. Blade takes down one particular player, but that's in a different position. Alpha trying to spam in those shotguns. Look at the bullets fly at the moment. None of the kills have been confirmed. None of the knocks have been confirmed as well. Flips trying to move in, and I guess this fight, this is gonna last for a while, because Mask Boys, they just completely got wiped out in one clean swoop. We saw how no knocks were being confirmed, but then Team GP2L, they rushed inside the compound, and Mask Boys, they had no reply. Absolutely. Team Infinity, they're the only team to find themselves in such a suitable position inside the circle. This is Kingsman, and he is holding the circle like an actual boss. He like an actual king. But sadness, look at that. He has a grenade launcher once again, Tanya. He has taken down Fireman, and I guess he is hungry for even more. Team number 12, that is Team Jawbreakers. They are slowly and steadily proceeding towards the circle. They will have to take down Team Cyanide, and they will eventually do so. Cheetah is gonna be the one who will completely murder Spartan. At the moment, Team XP, they are still trying to fight it out against Team GB2L. Hamim will try and take him out. He's the last one who is still standing. He has the MP40 to work with. I'm not quite sure if he's gonna make it, because the blue zone is tanking a lot of those damages. The blue walls, it is forming a maze for him, and he is taking so much more damage all the while. At the moment, it is so much more difficult for him to convert those kills as well as convert a positioning. Team Jawbreakers on the other side, they're just at ease for themselves. They're confirming kills, but there you have Team Agent as well. So we have a full party, Tanya. 4 teams and 13 players alive.
Absolutely, we do have full party. Let's see how his agent Zissan going to do. He has already possessed the sniper, the best he is at, and now he's also trying to spot the enemies over here. The best part is how the agents are playing it safe this round with only 1 kill. This is not the basic agent. This is not their play. How they are sneaky play coming from more towers until now. Now Sabir knocked down. The fight is against Team Infinity. We know Infinity, if they go aggressive, they can go for it. They can eliminate agents as well, because yes, for this point of time, they do have the advantage of the circle as well. Siam, wow, spotting some enemies, and yes, he's using M82B, the perfect weapon to fight out with, and yes, the best damage dealt also. Now the Team Agents who need to heal up as early as possible. 2 players remaining coming from Jawbreakers are saving their shows. Last 2 men standing over here. But if you talk about Santo, eliminated. Siam, wow, also down on his knees, and now it is Agent rushing in, taking up close, a personal fight, and I'm very sure of Arnav want to go for the headshot, and no, he could not go for it. Glue wall used right on time. What a perfect time to deploy a glue wall, but then other player jumps right in over here, frees man down as well. So now we are left over with the last man standing, the last players fighting. They were the agents finally. Towards the day or end of the day, they are showing their true colors, the aggressiveness. Somehow it was not the true agents, to be honest. They were playing a sneaky play, landing into boathouse. When did they make the entry? No kills at all, and then they come out all rushing and away with the booyah.
Yes. Team Asian, they are capable of doing anything. You ask them for kills, they will deliver. You ask them for placement points, they deliver as well. This fight was so calm and calculated. They knew exactly when they had to go for the kills. So, I mean, there was no necessity for them. Their rotation was so spot on. They had only one kill in the way to the final circle. And this just goes to show in Purgatory, it's not that easy, Tanya, to enter the final circle with one kill. It has to be a spectacular rotation coming in from Team Agent, but nonetheless, you do expect that. The highlights are definitely on your screen, and Team Musk Boys, they had a good outing. They had a fairly good outing. They took down a few of the players from Team Extreme EXE. Team Xenon, they've completely dominated by Team One Man. Only one player, Shubhan, was the last one who was still standing, but eventually he was the one who was taken down. I mean, either way, Team One Man is a very good side, and we haven't really seen very good displays from this particular team, to be honest. Like, at their full potential. We haven't seen them getting a lot of booyahs for themselves. We haven't seen them getting a lot of kills as well. But they've been consistently performing. They've had good fights. And that just goes to show that this team, they are mechanically skilled. But performing at this particular level, it's not just about skills. It is about much more. But this fight, this was one of my favorite fights, to be honest. The way GB2L, they just ran in. Fleps getting the first one on Jibon. Then Team GB2L, they just walk in. They have no fear whatsoever. One player flips, he just walks in. He takes on Adion as well. Skyrim takes on Cheetah on a different fight. But I mean, the way Team GB2 will completely shut down Team Mask Boys, it was absolutely brilliant. Team Infinity, they had so much inside the circle. I guess only one player from Team Jawbreakers was surviving, and that is the reason why he was taken down. It was only I'm not quite sure who it was, but it doesn't really matter. But Jawbreakers, they had another top 3 finish with a lot of kills. So there goes to show that how consistent that particular team has been towards the entirety of today. But Team Asian, this is another team you can't stop talking about. Their performance has been top-notch. Team Infinity, as I said, this is another team that has been really consistent. They are in top 2, top 3 consistently in a lot of games that they have played today, and they've racked up a lot of points because of it. But they didn't really get a lot of booyahs for themselves to show for, and that is probably because of their composure in the final circle. But I guess with time, even that will come. As I say, Tanya, like, there will be certain days where a team can be good and they will get all the booyahs for themselves. They will get all the kills for themselves, but maintaining consistency, it's just so difficult. Team Agent has done that. Team Infinity has done that. I guess a lot of other teams have done that as well.
Yeah, the Jawbreakers, they are on the leaderboard from the first match for the day, from the first leaderboard that we have seen on the screen. They are on rank 1. They are holding the position, and I don't think even after this match, even after this victory, they are going to get a single shift. They are still going to hold on to, because the difference was way too much. It was as close as 30 points, which is never too easy, right?
Points.
It was 40 points. 30, it was 30, I think. And so nicely
89 and
played.
51. 89 and 51. I'm weak at math, all right. I'm very weak in math. But yeah, I mean, go on. I do get your point.
Yeah, with this difference, Jawbreakers are not going to get any shift down. They are still going to stand still on their rank 1. It is just like they've owned the rank 1. That is how they are playing. Nobody else is going to join their play any sooner, until and unless being the last match, if agents decide to take the booyah with 5 to 7 kills, yes, they can get the rank 1 for the day. But let's see, is this match going to go in the favor of Jawbreakers or into the hands of agents? Because these two teams are definitely fighting for life, and we have seen them continuously trying to take the fight as good as possible. And once again, Extreme X's are holding the position into top 3 as well. So now for Group B, it is a very tough competition indeed. Let's see the other group, how are they going to perform?
Absolutely. I was having this discussion with Bamba early on when we saw the group standings, and we saw how close the competition was for Group C. I couldn't really say the same for Group B, because Team Agent and Team Extreme, they were the ones who were capturing the top positions in terms of the Group B placements. But the rest of the teams, including Jawbreakers and others, the difference was quite a bit. All right. So I'm not quite sure, but the 20 points can actually make a huge difference. But Team Agent, though, the kind of consistency that they've shown, it is very unlikely that they will get shifted from their first position slot. But this is going to be Team Cyanide, another team that has shown us true colors of themselves. This team has really shifted their gameplay. But Musk Bilal is the one who will get one kill early on. A Kib has been completely taken down off the server, and this is going to be a 3-man Team Cyanide taking on Team Musk, boys.
Yeah, one player already down. Now, how is this trio going to perform? Going for the resource zone is one of the best things to do. Little do you know that there's only one team is going to be masked just right in front of you, and as soon as you land it, you get the knocker, you get eliminated. So yes, it is a little bit of threat to join in, to jump in here until and unless you're very sure of that there is nobody who's going to share the grounds. But for now, you can't stop any of the team. Everybody has the equal ownership of the map. Over here, two teams landing, fighting quite equal. I wouldn't say that Team Cyanide is overpowering Mask or Mask is overpowering Team Cyanide. Yes, the loss of Cyanide is definitely one player, but yes, they have been trading as well. And now somewhere I feel Team Cyanide is going to take a fall back because two players already down. And in the trade affair, they've only taken one kill. So fighting a duo against a trios, it is a good call. Once again, they can still hold on to the position. But yes, somewhere being the final match, Cyanide is the one who's fighting for fighting into the top 5 teams. So they are going to lose much more than the Mask Boys are going to do. And Mask Boy gets knocked. Now the fire blade is down as well. Now it is all up to Fireman. How much fire can he throw? How much kills can he confirm? He does confirm one kill, and now it is going to be 1v2 situation for him.
Yeah, I mean, Fireman, he does have 2 kills for himself, but that is all that he can manage from this particular fight against Team Mask Boys. Team Mask Boys, so they've taken a lot of damage as well. It's not like either of these teams are healthy at this point, but certainly Team Mask Boys is the healthier of the two. With 2 players, they will have to fight it out against a lot of different squads. The gameplay is going to be different, of course. They have to take on a more passive approach. But the high tier loot zone, it did hurt for both these two teams. They do have some utilities as well as good guns to work with. I mean, 1 glue wall and 5 first aid kits, not quite enough for Fireman, but certainly it can get the job done. But talking about Team Mask Boys, I'm not quite sure what their strategy is going to be. They will also fall back to a passive approach, I feel, but in Stone Reach, we have Team Infinity try and go up close and personal against team number 7. Who I wonder who it is. I guess it's Team One Man. Team One Man, as I said, they have shown colors of good performances. They've shown colors of good aggressivenesses. They are good fraggers. There are good fraggers in the team, especially Mola is a player that really stands out for me. But as a collective unit, I am still yet to see a performance from Team One Man that really stands out. They've had booyahs, don't get me wrong. They have had booyahs for themselves. They have had top 3 finishes. But maintaining the consistency that is something that I'm talking about.
And if you look at the circle, we still see Mask Boys are onto the blue zone. And yes, they went YOLO, to be honest. They had nothing to lose. They were into the bottom 5. And now the disadvantage is dealt by the opponents. Yes, last man standing. It is Team Cyanide who lost a lot because they are the consistent ones who are always into the top 5. So yes, it is a great loss for them for now. Let's see how well can they grow from here, because now you know it, that being the final match, you have to do the best, you have to perform the best to stick to the consistency, because it has always been the consistency part. As you always say, Salty, that winning away booyah, it doesn't mean that you are going to get qualified. It is all about the consistency, and let's see who is the consistent ones for us. Once again, it is Jawbreakers with 103 points, and the Salty, you were right, they were 40 points ahead of them. So you're not weak at maths, maybe you are certainly wrong there, but Jawbreakers proving them very nicely with 103 points. Agent with the difference of 40 points on rank 2 and rank 3 by one man. So yes, this is the lead. We were talking about one man right now, and they are on rank 3. But right now, let's head towards the fight, which is going to be between Team Electro and Mask Boys. Mask Boys left with only 2 players. It is a hard time for Nabil. He's already knocked down. Last man standing for his team. He's nowhere close to him to even give a revive. And now Seth wants to go for a grenade finisher. Is he going to get that? Yes. No, he did not. It was a finisher by his teammate.
It was definitely a finisher by his teammate. Team Mask Boys, they didn't really have a lot of players to work with. Fireman was the one who got the final kill for himself. Team Agent, just have a look. They are up close and personal against Team Xenon, and Zishan is the one who will confirm a kill for himself. I guess one player is almost down and out, but Zishan gets traded out in return. Chopin is the one who did that. But now with 3 players, Team Agent, they have to perform really, really well. I guess kills are actually popping off. Knocks are coming in for Team Agent Esports. Chopin goes down as well. I wonder which particular player otherwise goes down as well, but it doesn't really matter. Orno jump peaks and takes another player down, or rather a complete team down. The danger zone, it is going to be a really, really big trouble for Team Agent. But talking about the player of the match, we talked about him right now. It is going to be Team Agent's Orno. And with 3 kills, he was the MVP in the last game. Certainly, he is really, really valuable. I kind of feel like the amount of value that Orno adds to the team is unmatched. I don't see a support player in other teams who performs this well and adds so much more value to their team, just like this player does.
Absolutely, but let's head towards Ambush Esports fighting against Extreme X's, and yes, it is Zico who is tanking up the damage. Let's see how fast can he revive the heal up himself, because he has a lot more fight to take to. Nightrox with his orb did give a good damage and confirm the kill. This is the first kill coming from Ambush Esports, and Extreme X is aced out of this match for the final day. We are not going to see them for today, but yes, let's see if they are going to be seen tomorrow or no. Let's head back towards the Infinity team. Very good. We did not see them engaging into any fight as of now. Yes, very good loot. We can see each and every player has 5 and more glue walls, 7 health kits, a perfect amount of loot you would want. And if you talk about Ambush Esports, once again, they are fighting against Jawbreakers. A tough time for Jawbreakers. Maybe Cheetah is down. Freak with very low HP left to work with, and the kill has been confirmed. Freak is down as well. A hard time for Jawbreakers, the table toppers, and it is a tough time given by Ambush Esports. They did not give lot of, but now the time has changed.
Absolutely. Team Ambush Esports, most of the times it was Team Jawbreakers who would take them down, but eventually in the final game of the day, this is Team Ambush Esports who is having the last laugh, to be honest. Will this be the last dance of Team Jawbreakers? I wonder about it, because the last remaining survivors, they have ran out of fight zone. They don't really want to take the fight. They kind of feel the fear that Team Ambush Esports is going to take them out, and that's a good decision. That is a good decision in this particular situation. You want to survive your way in and not just give out the kind of lead that you've built up at the top. Getting to 100 points in a matter of 5 games is just outrageous. We have seen teams cross the 100-point barrier, but that has happened after 6 games. But this team, Jawbreakers, with their consistency and their aggressive gameplay, they've managed it in 5 games itself, and that is just so much. Like, can't you imagine 100 points in 5 games? That is like averaging 20 points a game. That's almost like 8 kills and a booyah in every game. And they didn't get booyah in every game. They got booyah in only 2 games. So it just goes to show how consistent this team has been. But it also goes to show how many kills that they have racked up in every match that they have played. This is one of a kind. This is probably should be labeled as a day of Jawbreakers.
Absolutely, and they are the highest fraggers for the day as well. I did not see any other team taking away so much of kills, but let's see, is Shuvo going to confirm this kill at this point? Because Team Electro with only 1 kill, we have seen them play very well, but they have not proven themselves for today. They have not gone for any booyah as of now. The amount of kills, yes, we have seen them coming into the second match for the day, but now they need to push themselves up. To be honest, Salty, as the days are taking a close call, it is just that you have to go out with all the best potential you hold on to, and I want that to come out, bloom up. I want that to bloom coming from Team Electro, because I always say I see the potential in them, and I don't know, I've seen the performance as well. It is not that they have never proven themselves, so that is how I have certain expectations from them. But Ambush Esports are spotting the players very easily, their head, spotting each and every position of every player. They are not going to let it very loose at this point. They're going to make sure of that they get the damage done. But if we talk about Team XB, Arthur is already down, and it is Baby Girl who's trying to take a rotation. Ali with very low HP left. How good are they going to fight? It is going to be Jawbreakers against them. Baby Girl flanking within the house with the shotguns. What a hide and seek strategy is it going on? And a very confusing alongside Hamim already down, using the blue wall, healing themselves up. It is not going to be easy to fight against Jawbreakers. Jawbreakers take the entry, put Baby Girl down, and now it is Ali, last man standing for his team. And let's see how is Ali going to play with his double vector. But elsewhere on the map, it is Refinery, where it is Team Infinity, who is still peaceful, very calm, no fighting agents at all.
Absolutely. They're not fighting agents as of yet. Team Agent, though, they are a wounded lion. They did suffer some knocks and kills, as far as I remember. Even though for a fact that my memory is kind of a bit weak, but I gotta feel Team Agent, they've actually lost few of their players. But that doesn't really matter because Team Infinity, they're not going to take kills either way. They're not going to engage either way. And I guess this is one good strategy. But how long are they going to continue this passive approach? I wonder about it, because entering the final circle in Kalahari without kills is going to be a very tough job. I don't think any team has done that. I don't think any team is going to do it as well. Especially in a professional tournament like this, you have to expect teams in every corner of the circle. And if you have to find yourself position as well out of that cluster, you have to take someone down. So we'll have to see what happens, but eventually it's going to be coming down to the last remaining survivor from Team XP. It is Ali, who is still holding on to his dear life. The entirety of Team One Man is right on top of him, and they can gang up on him and pretty easily take him down, but he does have double vectors to work with. At least all he can is confirm a kill for himself and hurt Team One Man as much as he can. But Konok, he switches up to the Groza, which is certainly a very good option at this moment. But we'll have to see where the circle actually ends up, because we still have 8 teams to work with and 22 players still alive. There is still no confirmation where the circle is going to end up in, which team is going to get an inherent advantage. There is a bit of height involved in the circle as well. Just have a look. We have one cliff involved in the circle itself, and that is right at the dead center. If the circle ends up in that cliff, I feel that team number 7, that is Team One Man, they're going to have a very good position for themselves. Also, team number 12, that is Team Jawbreakers, I feel. They're going to have something to work with. Just have a look. The circle, it has few compounds to work with. It has a cliff, as well as it has I don't know, other resources to play around as well. So a lot of teams will be favored, but meanwhile the other teams, they will be gate kept to eternity. I guess a lot of kills are going to come in from the 4th and the 5th circle, Tanya.
Yeah, they were trying to do the gatekeeping stuff, but unfortunately there is no team entering through the bay front. So for now, I don't think they can gatekeep any team. But yes, I do see agents. They have to make sure that they take the entry. But before that, I'm seeing 2 teams already entering very parallelly, and those 2 teams are Ambush Esports and the Team Electro. Parallelly, yet not connecting, yet not engaging into fight. I don't know what is making them not try to initiate any fight, but somehow they will have to take the fight. Circle is going to close in no time from now. Warning is already on. Sirens are already beeping, and the fighting shots are on from Pluto, and Ali is spotted with very low HP to work with, and I'm very sure of he'll get eliminated very easily. With even though holding the double vector, he was ganged up and eliminated, just as we discussed. So Team One Man with total of 6 kills on the rank 3 on the leaderboard, and they don't want to take a shift down for sure. They are very consecutive with their play, and yes, the fight against the last man standing from the agent, and agents want to survive as long as possible, and agents taking close. Yes, once again Arnav with the double vector, healing himself up for sure. He knows it is going to be the fight against the numbers, and more numbers than him, so they need to make sure that they play as perfect as possible, because it is 2 booyahs for Jawbreakers, 2 booyahs for the agents. Who is going to go for the last one? Ambush Esports with all men standing for his team. 3 players already, 3 kills already taken, and on the count 4th on the screen.
Pretty sure neither of Jawbreakers and Team Agents are going to make it to the Booyah 3rd time, because I guess both of them have been eliminated. Team Agent, they have been eliminated for certain. Team Jawbreakers, I guess they have been taken down as well. This is Infinity. Noban is the one who finds himself in a maze of blue walls, as well as a maze of cluster of chrono shields and a lot of players to work with. Loser is the one who will take down Kingsman, as well as confirm the kill for himself. Santo, the last player standing, tries to jump and peek, but eventually will fall to the Team One Man. And Team One Man, how good that they have played. This is absolutely brilliant. Team Ambush Esports, they completely wipe out Team Electro, and they still have all their players alive. All these players can actually be revived, and Team Ambush Esports, they can be a force to be reckoned with, because they have those manpower. We know for a fact that getting all your players alive in the final circle, it is a big boon, and it is almost a booyah for them. But we'll have to see if the numbers do actually matter. Team One Man, though, with a single grenade, Kiddo is going to wipe 2 players down. Fresher is down as well. Godspeed is down as well. well. Kiddo dealing a lot of damage on Mola, who tries in and save their teammate. But right now, team number 7, they have such a wonderful position to hold. Team Ambush Esports, they have the numbers advantage, and team number 12 is team Jawbreakers. As you mentioned, Tanya, I feel that this team still has a chance to get the booyah, but I'm not quite really sure about it because the circle, it is not really favoring them. They will have to climb up the cliff and take a very hard rotation. It's going to be very hard on them. They will use up a lot of blue walls to work with. Loser with one quick sweep, he is going to take down so many players. Kato will confirm another kill as well, and one team has been taken down completely. Team Ambush Esports have been ambushed in the final circle. This is a 2v3. Team Jawbreakers are coming out on top. Naim Alam as well as Sadness. They confirm the entirety of Team 1 Man and Jawbreaker get the third booyah. How outrageous was that?
Yeah, the hat trick comes from the Jawbreakers. The question is answered. I asked you midway through. Yes, the agents were eliminated when I asked Jawbreakers did hear me out and called for your booyah and won away the hat trick for the day. And yes, a perfect ending for them as well as for us. Less in numbers, disadvantage of zone, and entering the fight, winning it away. It is never too easy. Jawbreakers prove themselves for the day, and let's head how well they proved from beginning, because you're heading for the highlights of the day. Team Cyanide taking some fight. Yes, here when the team went YOLO and won away the fight because they had nothing to lose. Masked Boys definitely won this round, but certainly they could not they could not last until the final circle. If you talk about this circle, agents did start losing the players, losing the numbers, and left with only two players by the time they ended the fight with Team Zenons.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm still shocked at the moment, Tanya. Like, how did Team Jawbreakers convert their positioning? Team Ambush Esports, just have a look. Nitrox was the player who took down 2 players. I guess it was Freak who was taken down as well. His kill was confirmed by Team Ambush Esports. Team Jawbreakers, they were only 2-man side and they held their position. They waited for the right moment. Team 1 Man, they were completely completely dominate Team Ambush Esports. Ambush Esports had 4 players alive. I want to see the final fight because that is where the real fight happened. Infinity versus Team 1 Man, it definitely was a good fight. Santa couldn't really do anything because Team 1 Man, they were so good in this particular fight. I guess they will get a lot of points from this fight as well, but Team Ambush Esports, Godspeed, the last one standing, takes down Sabit, and that is how Team Ambush Esports is gonna get all their players alive. But look at that. Kiddo with 1 or 2 grenades, he's gonna take down 2 players. He dishes out a lot of damage on reflex as well. Now, once Team Ambush Esports starts their move, it is none other than Loser, who is on the bottom follow with the double vectors, as well as Kiddo with the MP5. They just take down so many players of Ambush Esports, completely wiped them out to oblivion. But then came the final dance, and I don't know what happened. The shotguns were singing the death song, and certainly on the receiving end was Team 1 Man. There was nothing that was to be done. It was as if like the devil was calling Team 1 Man to their grave, and they had to follow. They had to follow.
Yeah, they followed the lead. So even though Team 1 Man had more kills than them, yes, the positioning points does matter because Jawbreakers also had 10 kills for sure. So the kills were quite equal. Somehow Team 1 Man had advantage of zone, advantage of location, advantage of number. It is only Jawbreakers who can turn the table in a blink of a second. So yes, we'll head towards the map recap, how the day went for all the teams as well as for us, how the intensity was built up by Team Cyanide, though not able to continue the same. They could not continue the same way they played in the first match for the day. Then comes Agent ruling the map purgatory, but then Jawbreakers starts to prove, they show their presence and then take away 1 booyah. Round 4 consecutively won away by the Jawbreakers. Then once again I saw Agent EXPs trying to climb it up, but then comes the end of the day. Jawbreakers with the hat trick, 3 wins in the day, and yes, they topped the leaderboard for never ending time. I did not see them climbing down once. They conquered the spot, and there was no one else who could contest them.
Yep. The surprising fact is that even if Jawbreakers did not had a booyah till the 3rd round on Kalahari, they managed to stick to their top position in spite of the fact that Cyanide as well as Agent were the ones who got booyahs in the first 2 games. So that just goes to show that Team Jawbreakers, they've been consistent on all the 6 games that they have played. And that is that is something outrageous. I didn't really see this coming from Team Jawbreakers, but the fact that they're capable of it, it is very well evident from their performance today. Uh, I'm not quite sure if this team is going to make it to the grand finals directly because Team Extreme EX as well as Team Asian, they performed really well over the course of this entire tournament, and they're probably the ones who are going to qualify for the finals directly. But nonetheless, when the play-ins come in, it is going to be Team Jawbreakers as well as Team Cyanide for the fact. These two teams, the kind of form that they have shown, the kind of potential that they have shown, for a fact, I guess they will be one of the highest contenders in the play-ins because I know something, Tanya. Play-ins is going to be hella aggressive. There is no way of passive gameplay in play-ins. Every team wants a spot in the top 6 and they will have to fight for it. And that is what pushes these teams to go in for aggressive plays. And I guess the way Jawbreakers and Team Cyanide have been taking their squad fights, their 4v4 fights, their 1v1 fights, it just goes to show that these two teams, they're really skilled in taking those fights. It'll be interesting to watch out what happens.
Yeah, definitely. It is going to be interesting what happens exactly because play ends is just the situation that you got to show your best. You have to prove yourself. You
Mhm.
have to struggle through because the teams are getting filtered as the day passes. The ranks are being pushed.
Absolutely.
The leaderboards are changing. You need to give the best you have, and this is the right time. Plains is going to be the last opportunity to pass through to go through the grand final. So I'm not. I'm very sure that there's no team who would want to see them into the final play and not wanting to go away from the plane. So, yes, they are going to give their best. But let's see for the day who is going to be the best. We did see all the three teams always charting, always being on the leaderboard. So, yes, Group B, it's a great fight. It's a great fight. They are not fighting against any other teams, they are just fighting within the group. So, the struggle is real for Group B.
Absolutely. I mean, teams from Group B, they've always been dominant. We have seen that in week 1 as well. Uh, Teams from Group B, they're really good in terms of their aggressive plays, and that has really been the reason why these teams, they are probably on the upper end of the points table. That has happened initially as well. But we'll have a look at the scoreboard because that is where the real fun begins. Jawbreakers with 3 booyahs, no surprises. But the surprising fact is, I mean, 67 kill points, Anya. What is that number? And the closest fight is 29. I mean, what is this? More than double the kills of your closest competitor. 124 total points. Even Agent or not even Team Riot could manage that, even with their 4 booyahs. I just don't know how did Jawbreakers achieve such a feat, but the fact that they did so, it's just so astonishing.
Definitely, it is astonishing. The only team with 67 kills, the only team with a triple digit, and yes, triple booyahs. How can we forget that hat trick of booyahs? Agents, yes, they did give their best possible. They did fight out as good as possible, but uncertainly, they could not fight against the jawbreakers. The jaws were definitely broken. Of all the 11 teams remaining, jawbreakers did not give the chance, not even a single chance. With the amount of kills, 40, it is 38 points of difference. Just imagine 38 more kills compared to any other team. The closest team is they are all the lead is just astonishing for sure. If we talk about Team One Man, the kills are being shared, but somehow Agents got 2 booyahs, and that is how with the positioning points they are on rank 2. If we talk about Team One Man, yes, this is the team who climbed the ladder, who climbed the step up. They were not even in they were not in top 3. They climbed the way easy. If we talk about Team Cyanide, they flanked down. They were seen on rank 1 after the first leaderboard, but somehow gradually stumbled down. But yes, into the top 5. If we talk about Team Extreme X's, they have taken a step down very badly, very brutally. We have seen them in top 3, but yes, they have taken a step down. So somewhere the performance got shaky in the later of the day.
Absolutely. Team Cyanide, as I said, consistency is going to be a very big factor in determining who is going to come out on top in terms of the points table, in terms of the tournament itself. Couldn't really keep up the consistency, I would say. The heat was certainly on in the first. The heat was certainly on in the first game. Mama predicted it's going to be Team Cyanide, and Team Cyanide came out on top. I was really surprised about it. But another team that I really want to talk about is Team Electro. This team didn't really fire up. You mentioned how you expected good performances from them, and even I did the same because Team Electro is one team that everyone wants to see From Group A, this was the team as well as Team Infinity. They were the ones who were leading the charts. And I don't really see this team dropping down below in terms of their gameplay. I don't really see that. I guess it's just about consistency. They've had a bad day and they can easily recover from it. But something which I would like to credit Team Infinity for is their consistency. They've had good days, they've had bad days. But this team, Infinity, they always remain consistent.
Yeah, Infinity played the best they could. They performed the best way, but somehow Jawbreakers did not allow any other team to take a close call. To be honest, they were always eliminating 2 to 3 teams because if you get 10 kill plus, so you're already eliminating 2.5 teams. Then
Yeah.
so other teams, yeah, did not get an easy chance, easy entry, and somehow Jawbreakers, even when they were left with only 2 players standing, they did manage to stand still. And then the last booyah hence proven that numbers doesn't matter, zone disadvantage advantage doesn't matter. It is all about the skills and how you use your firepower.
Absolutely. I love the fact how they got the last booyah, to be honest, because the 2 players who were standing, Sadness as well as I believe it was Naimalam, I might be wrong, but the way they converted the kills, Team One Man, they had nothing to do. And I kind of love that because Team Jawbreakers, they just waited. The blue circle was closing in. They knew that all right, we're gonna tank some damage. They were right, all right, we're cool with it. Let's tank some damage. Team One Man on the other side, they wiped out the entirety of Team Ambush Esports and made the task of Team Jawbreakers even more easier. And Team Jawbreakers were like, all right, thank you for the kills. And they got the booyah for themselves. They made it look so easy. The jump shots, their jump and shotguns were absolutely perfect. And as I said, their aggressions, their fights are always perfect.
Yeah, it's a perfect day for them indeed, but not for the others. So they made it perfect. They made it flawless for them. They made it flawless. After the round 3 of the day, they started their heat, and the heat was never ending. That is when they never stopped with the kills, with the booyahs, with the performance, even being less in numbers, still proving. If all 4 men are standing, still proving. It was just an unstoppable event for them. There was nothing they could stop them. Even the zone disadvantages, we have seen them taking a rotation when zone was not in their favor. Still, they could manage to do that. So, yes, it was just a perfect day for them. So, let's head back towards the format as well, because, yes, the format was a little confusing for the viewers. It was just into that mode qualifier. FFC initiated that is where the 48 teams took an advancement towards the close qualifier. The close qualifier was placed very nicely, and then the teams were filtered. 18 teams moved on to the league season. That is how we got the group A, B, and C. And now these 18 teams are fighting for an easy entry. Not so easy indeed. These six teams who are going to be the table toppers from their particular group, they are going to lead. They are going to cross over to the finals. But yes, the remaining team still do have the chance. The bottom 12 teams still do have the chance through the grand finals. Again, the top 6 teams will be filtered, and that is how they will pass on to the grand finals. That is how we are going to get the top 12 teams for the grand finals. And if we talk about the league points, yes, we did see the rankings. The league points were consistently chit chatted about for the day. It is just because the same group team, it doesn't matter how good you are playing, even if 6 booyahs from one team. If you belong to other group and you are playing consistent with certain amount of kills, you are going to get qualified. So this is how the day went for both the groups today. Group B, they were fighting for the top 3 position. Group where the other group, they were going at play in their own place, very slowly but still succeeding. And now we are heading towards the league points for the day. This is how the filtration will take place, and has already taken they've taken the place. Team Infinity and Team Electro into the group B, and yes, GB2L Esports, they did perform very well, but somehow Infinity and Electro outshined for the day. And if we talk about Jawbreakers and Agent EXPs, both of them have got 4 MPs, but still leaderboard topped by Team Agent, the unstoppable agents.
Absolutely. They placed second, so definitely they had a top. But Extreme EX, the fact that Jawbreakers overtake Extreme EX, that kind of surprises me for a fact. Because Extreme EX, they did have a 3-point lead over Jawbreakers in terms of the league points, but the way Jawbreakers kind of dominated everyone today, they had to get those 20 points. And Extreme EX, they kind of moved out in terms of the day's points table, and that is the reason why they don't really get as much league points. Look at Group C, though. I talked about this earlier at the start of the day. This group is going to be the group of death. The competition for the top 2 places is going to be intense, and it is going to, it's even going to extend to the last day of week 3. It doesn't really matter because Group A and Group B, the fight for Group B is still there. Extreme EX, they are still in the hunt. One good day and Team Extreme EX can actually come back and tie up against Jawbreakers or probably even take them down. But for Group A, Tanya, it's almost settled. Team Electro as well as Team Infinity are probably going to be the ones who are going to be qualifying for the grand finals directly. The rest of the teams, they have to play in the play-ins. But for Group B and Group C, there's going to be a very heated battle. And I love these, to be honest, because that is one of the reasons why the tournament is just extending, right? We have 9 league days. 9? Yeah, we have 9 league days. So certainly you want the competition to be fair and square and intense for all the 9 league days. You don't really want a team to build up such a lead at the top in the first few days of the tournament, after which the tournament just does not make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't make sense. But yes, I would also like to say about Team Infinity. They are with the highest score of 74, not even Group B. Not anyone from Group B or Group C has any score above 70. So this is the only team. I'm happy that we talked about Infinity today. So yes, guys,
Absolutely.
with that said, kindly follow all the social media. They are going to write up. They are indeed right in front of your screen. Yes, to get updated, do follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, as well as TikTok. So stay updated. Being the biggest event by far, you need to get updated about how your teams are performing, your favorite team, your favorite players. So make sure you do follow them. And yes, we are also following because we are also very much interested to get updated as early as possible.
Absolutely, I want to be the first person to get updated. To be honest, if I had that under my power, I would contact Garena directly. But nonetheless, that is not what happens. We all get those updates from the social media pages. Free Fire Bangladesh Official is going to be your destination. You are in the YouTube channel already. Do make sure that you subscribe. Instagram is there as well. You have to follow it up because I kind of feel like you have to make us feel loved as well because we are providing you with such tournaments, such platforms. We want something in return, right? So shower in this loves, and this is one way you can do it. So do give us a follow in every one of those social: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, as well as TikTok, because it is so important, right, Tanya? I mean, even for us, I mean, we plugged in Free Fire's officials socials for a fact, but yeah, you can find me at the rate I am salty. You can find Tanya as well, Star Tanya Gaming Whitey, right?
Yeah, it is
Tanya Gaming Whitey. It is Tanya Gaming Whitey.
Yeah, thank you. So yes, it was a great day indeed, and it was a good day for the players. Jawbreakers did take away the day, but you guys need to take away this redeem code right here, right now. Make sure you redeem it before the 12 a.m. in the midnight, because that is when this code is going to get expired, and we want you to take away the token of love coming from Garena.
Absolutely. It is one way of giving back to the audience once again. You guys have been staying with us till the entire duration of the day, and that is just so amazing. The love that you shower is brilliant. Nonetheless, the redeem code, you can redeem the code at reward.ff.garena.com. The code, it lasts till 12 a.m. midnight today. So go ahead and grab it right now, because who doesn't want free skins? We talked about it yesterday, when Mamba and I were discussing skins. They give you skills. It is a secret of the underworld. No one understands it, but I know for a fact when I get a good gun with a good skin, I am Salty 2.0. I'm no more a noob. I'm a pro player.
Yeah, gun skin doesn't enhance the skills though, but yes, you tend to love the colors. The pink color did catch my eye. So yeah, it is a good gun skin. Make sure, guys, you use it for the skills of for being 2.0, just as Salty said. Yes, you might get 2.0 too.
Absolutely. Anyone with practice can get 2.0. If you want to become a professional player, a Free Fire professional player somewhat in future, you can participate in Free Fire Bangladesh Championship. God knows, 20XX. I'm not going to say which year because no one can say, but suddenly you might wake up one day and say, all right, I'm going to be a professional player. You start the grind, you come through all the barriers and you participate. And I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here to cast you alongside Tanya as well as Mama. But about it, I guess that is it for the day. The interview is going to come in very shortly. But for now, me, Salty, as well as Tanya, we're going to sign off. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's me again, Kelly! Huge thanks to all of you for the warm support to Free Fire esports in the past years. I know all of us can't wait to find out what's next for Free Fire esports in 2021. So today, I am very excited to share with you what we've achieved so far and what we are planning for this year. Let's start with our biggest esports event in 2020, the Free Fire Continental Series. By the way, I hope you still remember my terrific performance at the opening ceremony. We broke records with the Asia Series, where 2.5 million of you tuned in to us live. The America Series also had a peak of over 1.7 million live viewers. Meanwhile, the EMEA Series also drew in nearly 300,000 live viewers, creating new viewership records for us in the CIS and Middle East regions. Your support was absolutely amazing! The Free Fire family just keeps growing. You guys rock! The World Series, together with the rest of our tournaments, pushed Free Fire into the top 5 most watched games on YouTube in 2020. Last but not least, we won the Esports Mobile Game of the Year at the Esports Awards 2020. We are humbled by your passion and love for Free Fire esports. This award is yours as much as it is ours. Hayato, it's your turn to talk about the World Series.
Sure. We have continuously expanded our esports outreach throughout the world, and the number of participating regions have grown massively. We started with 9 regions at our very first international tournament, the Free Fire World Cup. Over the past 2 years, our esports community has grown to include India, Russia, the Middle East, and the Pakistan regions. Our plans to grow further do not stop here. And in 2021, we'll be adding Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Philippines as competitive regions.
Yay!
Next, we're proud to present the brand new logo and format for the Free Fire World Series, our largest and most iconic tournament of the year. This year will be bigger than ever before. There will be 2 World Series in 2021. The first World Series will be taking place in Asia during April, while the second World Series will be hosted in November. In addition to these, there will be another international tournament around July. So stay tuned for the rest of the year.
In 2021, we will continue to work hard and provide more engaging esports events and content. We are excited to see Free Fire esports grow bigger this year, and we know we can do it with you as our loyal fans. That's all for now, and we will meet again very soon in April for the World Series.
See you soon!
Hi survivors, subscribe and press the bell icon for more awesome content. See you in the next video!
Hi survivors, it's me again, Kelly! Huge thanks to all of you for the warm support to Free Fire esports in the past years. I know all of us can't wait to find out what's next for Free Fire esports in 2021. So today, I am very excited to share with you what we've achieved so far and what we are planning for this year. Let's start with our biggest esports event in 2020, the Free Fire Continental Series. By the way, I hope you still remember my terrific performance at the opening ceremony. We broke records with the Asia Series, where 2.5 million of you tuned in to us live. The America Series also had a peak of over 1.7 million live viewers. Meanwhile, the EMEA series also drew in nearly 300,000 live viewers, creating new viewership records for us in the CIS and Middle East regions. Your support was absolutely amazing! The Free Fire family just keeps growing. You guys rock! The World Series, together with the rest of our tournaments, pushed Free Fire into the top 5 most watched games on YouTube in 2020. Last but not least, we won the esports
Hey, hello, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। ওয়েলকাম ব্যাক গাইস। সবাইকে আবারও স্বাগতম আমাদের বাংলাদেশ চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের আমাদের হচ্ছে গ্রুপ পর্বের ২য় সপ্তাহে সবাইকে আবারও স্বাগতম। আর গাইস আজকে কিন্তু আমাদের সাথে ইন্টারভিউ সেকশনে আছে কিন্তু আমাদের টিম আইএনএফ, দ্যাটস টিম ইনফিনিটি। টিম ইনফিনিটি কিন্তু আমাদের সাথে আছে এবং আমাদের সাথে কিন্তু যুক্ত হয়ে গেছে আমাদের সিয়াম ওয়াও ভাই এবং শান্ত ভাই। কি অবস্থা সিয়াম ভাই?
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ ভাই ভালো আছি। আপনাদের কেমন অবস্থা? কেমন আছেন?
একদম ভালো আছি। আর আজকের দিনটা কি মানে খুব টাফ ডে ইউ নো লাইক
ইয়েস আজকের দিনটা অনেক টাফ গেছে। এক্সাক্টলি আমাদের জন্য। সরি গাইস। সো লাইক আমরা যেটা এক্সপেক্ট করছিলাম ওইভাবে আসলে বিষয়গুলো হয় নাই। একটু নিচের দিকে ছিল আর পারফরম্যান্স।
নো প্রবলেম, নো
আর
প্রবলেম, নো প্রবলেম।
নো
আজকে কিন্তু
প্রবলেম।
মানে ভালো ছিল আপনাদের গেম প্লে গুলো এবং অসাধারণ ছিল। ইয়েস মাসুদ ভাই প্লিজ ক্যারি।
সো ওটাই বলছিলাম যে আপনারা কিন্তু গতকালকে অনেক ভালো খেলেছেন। আজকেও কিন্তু আপনারা বেশ ফাইট নিয়েছেন। হয়তোবা কিছু ক্ষেত্রে আপনার পজিশনটা ধরে রাখতে পারেন নাই। বাট ইউ গাইস প্লেড অসামলি। সো আপনাদের কাছে আমাদের কিছু কোয়েশ্চেন আছে। আপনার সাথে গল্প করব। সো ১ম এই জানতে চাই যে আসলে আপনাদের স্কোয়াডে যে ইনফিনিটি স্কোয়াড এত ইনফেমাস একটা স্কোয়াড, এত পরিচিত একটা স্কোয়াড, এটার যাত্রাটা কিভাবে শুরু? কোথা থেকে আপনারা শুরু করেছেন? সেই জার্নিটা একটু আমাদেরকে একটু বলে দিবেন। যে আজকে ধরেন যে স্কোয়াড মেকিং থেকে শুরু করে এফএফবিসির এই রাউন্ডে যে ইন্টারভিউ দিচ্ছেন হাজার মানুষের সামনে, এই জার্নিটার একটু ছোট্ট করে শুনতে চাই গল্পটা।
তো আমরা বেসিক্যালি ডেথ ফোর্স গিল্ড থেকে ইনফিনিটি স্কোয়াডটা। তো আমরা আ একদম নতুন স্কোয়াড, অতটা পুরনো বলা যাবে না। কারণ আমরা গেম খেলি অনেক আগ থেকে, প্রায় আমি ৩ বছর আমার স্কোয়াড মেটও এরকম। কিন্তু আমাদের স্কোয়াড ইনফিনিটির যাত্রা বেশি একটা সময় হবে না, প্রায় ১০ মাসের মতো। এবং এখানে যে আমাদের যে মেম্বার যারা আছে, যেমন আমি এখানে সবথেকে ওল্ড মেম্বার, আমার সাথে শান্ত। তাছাড়া আমার বাকি যে ২ টা মেম্বার আছে যারা আমাদের সাথে এফএফবিসি খেলছে, কিংসম্যান অ্যান্ড নবীন, এরা খুবই নিউ জয়েন করছে আমাদের সাথে। হয়তো ৭ মাসের মতো হবে এই লকডাউনের ভেতর আরকি। তবে সেই হিসাবে আমাদের স্কোয়াডটা অনেকটা আসলে নতুন অন্য স্কোয়াডের থেকে আরকি।
তো যাই হোক আপনাদের খেলা দেখে কিন্তু কখনোই মনে হয় না আপনারা নতুন। যাই হোক আমরা চলে যাব নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনে সারফরাজ।
একদম আমি শান্ত ভাইয়ের কাছে যাইতে চাই। শান্ত ভাই কি টায়ার্ড ইউ নো লাইক আজকে খেলে বা ৬ টা গেম একদম টায়ার্ড?
না সেরকম টায়ার্ড না। তারপরেও ক্যামেরার সামনে খেলাটা
একটা মেন্টাল প্রেশার পড়ে আরকি।
জি।
৬ টা ম্যাচ
হ্যাঁ,
খেলার পরে
ওকে
স্বাভাবিক।
সমস্যা নাই। কোন মেন্টাল প্রেশার নাই। প্রেশার নেওয়ার কোন ব্যাপার নাই। কজ আপনারা যেভাবে আজকে মানে আপনারা দুর্দান্তভাবে যে ৬ টা দিন গেম প্লে করেছেন, আজকে আপনাদের যে এত হিউজ ফ্যান হয়ে গেছে। সো এই জিনিসটাকে কিভাবে দেখছেন যে এখন গেলেই মানুষজন চিনতে পারতেছে? আচ্ছা এইটাই তো সেই আইএনএফ আ সিয়াম ওয়াও বা আইএনএফ শান্ত কিভাবে দেখছেন সেই ব্যাপারগুলা?
সুন্দর আপুরা আপনাদেরকে নক দিচ্ছে, কথা বলতেছে।
নট এক্সাক্টলি, এটা এখনো অতদূর পর্যন্ত যায় নাই। তবে অবশ্যই ভালো লাগে, আমাদের অনেকেই ইনবক্স করে যখন আমরা স্টোরি শেয়ার করি, কোনো পোস্ট শেয়ার করি, যখন তারা আমাদের জন্য ওয়েল উইশ করে। অবশ্যই এটা অনেক অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েটেবল, কজ এরকমটা হবে কখনো আমরা আসলে এক্সপেক্ট করি না। অবশ্যই গেম খেলতাম, ভালো লাগা ছিল। বাট এতদূর আসবো অবশ্যই জিনিসটা অনেকই অ্যামেজিং এবং আমরা অনেক উপভোগ করি বিষয়টা যখন আমাদেরকে কেউ এসে বলে যে অনেক ভালো গেছি, নেক্সট দিন আরো বেটার ট্রাই করতে হবে। জিনিসগুলো আমাদেরকে আরো লাইক ইন্সপায়ারিং আসলে ব্যাপারগুলো। যে আমাদেরকে আরো মোটিভেট করে যাতে আমরা পরের দিন আরো ভালো খেলি।
একদম এক্সাক্টলি সেটাই ঠিক আছে। আর লাইক আমি একটা জিনিস জানতে চাই যে যেমন একটা নরমাল প্লেয়ার লাইক র‍্যাংক প্লেয়ার টু এ স্পোর্ট প্লেয়ার, এই জিনিসটা কেমন ভাবে দেখছেন? যে হাউ ডিফিকাল্ট টু প্লে র‍্যাংক ম্যাচ এন্ড প্লে লাইক টুর্নামেন্ট লাইক দিস? হাউ ডিফিকাল্ট ইজ লাইক দ্যাট?
ইটস আ টোটাল ডিফারেন্ট এরিনা, কজ লাইক আমরা নরমালি যেভাবে র‍্যাংক রাশ করে খেলি উইথআউট এনি প্ল্যান, জাস্ট স্কোয়াড নিয়ে খেললাম, রাশ করলাম, সিম্পল অ্যাজ লাইক দ্যাট। বাট স্পোর্টস এর মতো জায়গায় যেখানে প্রত্যেকটা স্কোয়াডই লাইক টপ ক্লাস এবং তাদের সামনে খেলতে গেলে প্রত্যেকটা স্কোয়াডের জন্যই আপনার ডিফারেন্ট প্ল্যানিং করে আসতে হবে। কখন কে সামনে পড়ে, কার প্ল্যানিং কেমন, আপনার অপোনেন্টের যে এনিমি যে স্কোয়াডটা আছে তারা কিভাবে রাশ করে, প্রত্যেকটা সিঙ্গেল মুভমেন্টের উপরে যদি কন্ট্রোল থাকে তাহলেই বিট করা পসিবল। উইথআউট দ্যাট লাইক নরমাল র‍্যাংকে যেটা তো আমি বললাম যে গেলাম, এনিমি সামনে আসলো, মেরে দিলাম বা আমরা মরে গেলাম, অতটুকু পর্যন্তই। কিন্তু এখানে একটা প্রেশার থাকে যে না, অবশ্যই আমাকে টপে যেতে হবে। কোনোভাবে ফার্স্ট, সেকেন্ড, থার্ড এটা ধরতে হবে, প্লাস কিলও করতে হবে। সামনে স্কোয়াড করলে তাকেও ওয়াইপ আউট করতে হবে। কোনো অবস্থাতেই নিজেদেরকে ওয়াইপ আউট করা যাবে না। তো অনেক প্রেশারই আসে
ওকে।
কাজ করে। টোটালি ডিফারেন্ট লাইক 1000% ডিফিকাল্ট আরকি লাইক স্পোর্টস খেলা নরমাল র‍্যাঙ্ক থেকে।
সো শান্ত ভাই,
একদম।
জি।
শান্ত ভাই, সিয়াম ভাই আপনাদের কাছে কোয়েশ্চেন একটা আছে। সেটা হচ্ছে যে আপনারা তো অলরেডি ৬ টা ম্যাচ খেলে ফেলেছেন। ৬ টা ম্যাচ না, মানে লিগ ডে 6 আজকে শেষ হলো। অনেকটা
ইয়েস 4
স্টেজ
ম্যাচ।
আপনারা পার করে আসছেন।
৬ দিন।
এফএফবিসির 2nd রাউন্ড আপনারা কমপ্লিট করে ফেলেছেন। সো এখনো পর্যন্ত আপনাদের কাছে বিগ কম্পিটিটর আপনাদের কাদেরকে মনে হয়েছে? আপনারা অলরেডি অনেকগুলা বুয়া করেছেন, অনেকগুলা ম্যাচে আপনারা ভালো খেলেছেন। সো কাদের সাথে আপনারা ফাইটটা বেশি এনজয় করেছেন? কাদের সাথে মনে হচ্ছে না দে আর আওয়ার বিগ কম্পিটিটর, এদের সাথে পড়লে বা এদের সাথে ফাইটটা হলে একটু আমাদেরকে সাবধান থাকতে হবে। এরকম কোনো কম্পিটিটর ছিল নাকি? আর থাকলে কারা?
না, এখানে প্রত্যেকটা স্কোয়াডই আমার মনে হয় ইকুয়াল। কজ আমরা যখন কারো সামনে যাই তারাও মেবি এইটাও সেম চিন্তাটাই করে। কজ এখানে মেক্সিমাম যে সময় যে জিনিসটা লাইক কাজ করে সেটা হচ্ছে যে যাদের পজিশন প্লাস যারা আগে স্পট করতে পারে তারাই বেটার খেলে। সো এভরি সিঙ্গেল স্কোয়াডই আমরা অলওয়েজ ট্রাই করি যাতে আগে স্পট আউট না হই, আমার সামনের স্কোয়াড যাতে আমরা আগে দেখতে পারি, তাদেরকে বিট করতে পারি। বাট ওইটা বাদে আমি প্রত্যেকটা স্কোয়াডই সেম। কজ আমরা অনেক স্কোয়াডের আমরা ওয়াইপ আউট করছি, অনেক স্কোয়াড আমাদেরকে মেরে দিছে। বাট এটা ডিপেন্ড করে সিচুয়েশনের উপরে। সো আমার কাছে আমরা বাদে বাকি যে ১৭ টা স্কোয়াড আছে সবাই কিন্তু লাইক এখানে ইকুয়াল।
একদম, 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 একদম খুবই সুন্দর কথা বলেছেন আ শান্ত ভাই যে এখানে কিন্তু তারা সুন্দর মানে প্রত্যেকটা যে আমাদের আদার্স 11 স্কোয়াড আছে এই আমাদের আইনের পদে সবগুলোই কিন্তু তাদের জন্য বিগ কম্পিটিটর। সো ভেরি ওয়েল সে। আর এখানে আমি একটা জিনিস জিজ্ঞেস করতে চাই যে লাইক আমাদের আপনারা যে এত গেম প্লে করতেছেন, আজকে যে খেলতেছেন, সো আপনাদেরকে যারা দেখতেছে ঘরে বসে যারা খেলা দেখতেছে, আমাদের যে ফ্রি ফায়ার মানে আপনাদেরকে আইডল হিসেবে যারা দিতেছে তাদেরকে কিছু যদি বলতে চাইতেন আপনারা? তাদেরকে যদি ২ টা কথা বলেন।
ওকে, সো
আপনার
যারা
ফ্যানদের উদ্দেশ্যে কিছু বলেন আরকি।
হ্যাঁ, ফ্যানের উদ্দেশ্যে
ইয়েস।
আরকি কিছু বলেন।
যারা আমাদেরকে ফলো করে বা যারা আমাদেরকে সাপোর্ট করতেছে তাদের তো অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। এত ভালো সাপোর্ট আসছে এটা অবশ্যই অনেক হিউজ একটা পাওয়া আমাদের জন্য। আর যারা অবভিয়াসলি আমাদেরকে ফলো করে, আমাদের গেম প্লে ফলো করে বা আমাদের মতো হতে চায়, সো তাদের জন্য একটা থাকবে অবশ্যই ভালো একটা স্কোয়াড বিল্ড করে অবশ্যই সিরিয়াসলি গেম প্লে করতে হবে। বেশি, বেশি করে আমাদের যে লোকাল এখন হিউজ লেভেলের টুর্নামেন্ট হয়, টুর্নামেন্ট গুলো পার্টিসিপেট করতে হবে। ধৈর্য রেখে স্কোয়াড বিল্ড আপ করে সুন্দর করে প্র্যাকটিস করে অবশ্যই ভালো যদি ইচ্ছা থাকে তাহলে অবশ্যই ভালো কিছু করতে পারবে তারা। আমাদের প্রতি এই পর্যায়ে আসাটা অতটাই ডিফিকাল্ট না।
অবশ্যই, অবশ্যই,
ইয়াহ!
অবশ্যই।
ভেরি ওয়েল সে শান্ত ভাই ভেরি ওয়েল সে এবং সরি সিয়াম ভাই। আ এখানে হচ্ছে লাইক আপনাদের একটা সত্যি করে কথা বলবেন। আপনাদের প্লেয়ারদের মধ্যে সবথেকে রাশার কে এবং হচ্ছে আপনাদের কে হোল্ড ব্যাক করে চলে যায়, পালিয়ে চলে যায় লাস্ট পর্যন্ত?
ওকে, সো এখানে আমাদের রাশার হচ্ছে কিংসম্যান। সেখানে আমাদের
ওকে।
রাশারের লিডটাই সে করে। আর আমাদের আসলে যদি পালিয়ে যাওয়ার কথা বলে সেই ক্ষেত্রে ওইটা আমারই দায়িত্বে থাকে। কজ আমার লিডার এন্ড স্নাইপার, আমি পিছন থেকে কভার যতটুকু দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করি। আর এটা বাদে যদি একদমই আমরা একটা বাজে সিচুয়েশন এ পড়ে যাই যেখান থেকে ওভারকাম করা পসিবল না, তখন আমরা ট্রাই করি, বিশেষ করে আমার উপরেই দায়িত্বটা থাকে যেন আমি পিছন থেকে একটা ভালো পজিশন এট লিস্ট ধরতে পারি।
আপনার উপরে দায়িত্ব থাকে যে টিমকে সারভাইভ করে একটা ভালো পজিশন
ইয়েস,
নিয়ে আসা।
ভালো পজিশনে নিয়ে যাওয়া।
সো আপনাদের কাছে শান্ত ভাইয়ের কাছে আমার একটা কোয়েশ্চেন ভাই। সেটা হচ্ছে যে
জি।
এখন যে নতুন যে টুর্নামেন্টে এখন আমরা দেখতেছি যে নতুন ২ টা জিনিস এসেছে, ক্রোনো ক্যারেক্টার CR7 অ্যান্ড ডাবল ভেক্টর। এই ২ টা জিনিসের অ্যাডিশন কিন্তু গেমের ডাইমেনশন, গেমের পুরা জিনিসটা কিন্তু চেঞ্জ করে ফেলেছে। সো এটা নিয়ে আপনাদের একটু অনুভূতি জানতে চাচ্ছিলাম শান্ত ভাই। ডাবল ভেক্টর অ্যান্ড ক্রোনো ক্যারেক্টার।
হ্যাঁ, অনুভূতি ভাই এখানে তো ডাবল ভেক্টর একটা মানে আমার যেহেতু মনে হয় যে আনফেয়ার একটা গান। কারণ এই গানটার কারণে যে একটা রাশার ভাই টিমে দুটা করে ৪ টা যদি ডাবল ভেক্টর নেয় তাহলে ভাই আর কিছু থাকে না।
আসলে এক্সাক্টলি ডাবল ভেক্টরটা অনেক আসলে ডিফিকাল্ট। আর এটা লাইক যে প্রপার ইউজ করতে পারে তার জন্য অনেক বড় একটা অ্যাডভান্টেজ। মানে টোটালি তার কনফিডেন্সটা 100% বিল্ড আপ করে দেয়। এবং যেটা আজকেও হয়তো আমাদের গেম প্লে দেখলে আপনারা বুঝতে পারবেন। আমরা যতবারই ওয়াইপ আউট হইছে মেক্সিমাম কারণই ছিল ডাবল ভেক্টর।
ডাবল ভেক্টর।
লাইক থার্ড পার্টি চলে আসছে, ডাবল ভেক্টর নিয়ে চলে আসছে ওখানে আ সেকেন্ডের ভিতরে
এক্সাক্টলি
জিনিসগুলা এক্সাক্টলি
আমরা
এবং
দেখেছি।
শর্ট রেঞ্জ এর ফাইটে বিষয়গুলা আসলে হিউজ ট্রাবল ক্রিয়েট
আসলে
করে।
ওইটার সামনে কোন গান কিচ্ছু করতে পারে না। সো আপনাদের ভিতরে ডাবল ভেক্টর এক্সপার্ট কে আছেন?
ইয়েস, কিংসম্যান যে আমাদের আশার ওর কাছে এই ডাবল ভেক্টরটা থাকে।
তো এটাই আসলে আমরা এখন আসলে এই ধরনের গেম প্লে সবার কাছ থেকে দেখি। প্রতিটা স্কোয়াডে কিন্তু ডাবল ভেক্টর থাকে, ডাবল MA2B থাকে, আমাদের ক্রোনো ক্যারেক্টার তো সবার কাছেই থাকে। অলোক ক্যারেক্টারের দিন কিন্তু এখন শেষ। তো
ইয়েস,
যাই
এখন
হোক
যেহেতু
আপনাদের
গেমে
হ্যাঁ,
চলে
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
আসছে বিষয়গুলো, এগুলো অ্যাডপ্ট করতে হবে। বাট
ইয়াহ!
আমরা চেষ্টা
এক্সাক্টলি
করতেছি
জি। এক্সাক্টলি।
বিষয়গুলোর সাথে ফ্যামিলিয়ার হওয়ার। বাট একটু টাইম
ইয়াহ!
লাগলেও যেহেতু বললাম আমরা নিউলি স্কোয়াড অনেক কিছুই নতুন শিখতেছি। প্রত্যেকটা ম্যাচে আমরা ডিফারেন্ট কিছু করার চেষ্টা করি এবং
কিন্তু
কোনদিন সাকসেসফুলি
আপনাদের খেলা দেখে কিন্তু মনে হয় না যে আপনারা নতুন খেলছেন। আপনারা কিন্তু প্রচন্ড অ্যাগ্রেশন এর সাথে দাপটের সাথে খেলে আসছেন এবং যেভাবে ডমিনেটিং পারফরম্যান্স দেখাচ্ছেন আমরা আশা করব আপনারা নেক্সট ডে আরো ২ টা ম্যাচ আছে আপনাদের। ২
ইয়েস।
টা ম্যাচে ভালো করে
জি।
আপনারা ডিরেক্টলি ফাইনালে চলে যাবেন। এইটা আমরা আশা করি। সো
একদম।
এনি আপনাদের যদি গ্যারিনাকে উদ্দেশ্য করে, গ্যারিনা এত বড় একটা স্টেজ আমাদেরকে দিল প্রথমবারের মতো, এত বড় একটা প্রাইজ মানি টুর্নামেন্ট, এত বড় একটা স্টেজ। এখানে খালি প্রাইজ মানি ফ্যাক্ট না, একটা স্টেজটা কিন্তু অনেক বড়। আপনি এখানে ভালো করতেছেন, আপনার কিন্তু হাজার হাজার মানুষ দেখতেছে, লাখ লাখ মানুষ কিন্তু আপনাকে চিনতেছে। সো গ্যারিনাকে যদি আপনার অনুভূতিটা একটু জানান যে এত বড় একটা স্টেজ আমাদেরকে দেওয়ার জন্য।
অবশ্যই অনুভূতিটা অনেক বড়। কজ এটার কারণে একটা গেম চেঞ্জিং লাইফ চেঞ্জিং একটা ব্যাপার হইতে পারে, যেহেতু স্পোর্টস চলে আসছে। এবং আমি অবশ্যই গেরিনার কাছে চাইবো যেমন এরকম একটা আসছে, এগুলো বছরে আরো অনেকগুলো আসুক, অনেকগুলা ক্যাটাগরিতে আসুক, যাতে আমাদের অনেক ক্যাপেবল স্কোয়াড আছে, আমরা বাদেও যারা খেলার সুযোগ পাই নিজেদের অ্যাবিলিটি প্রুভ করতে পারে, আমরাও যাতে আমাদের দেশকে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করা বলেন, ফ্রি ফায়ারে সবকিছু ওভারঅল করতে পারি। So অবশ্যই গেরিনা যেন আমাদের আরো বেশি বেশি এরকম ট্যুর দেয়। আর তার থেকে অবশ্যই যেটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট, আমাদের নিজেদের জন্য এত বড় একটা প্ল্যাটফর্ম, অবশ্যই যেহেতু আমরা আমাদের এত ফ্যান ফলোয়ার ক্রিয়েট হইছে, আমরাও নিজেদের যে স্কিলটা এটাও দেখাইতে পারতেছি সবার সামনে, নিজেদের কমতিগুলাও বের করতে পারতেছি। সো ওভারঅল সবকিছু মিলিয়ে স্পোর্টস একটা হিউজ লাইক অ্যাসেট আমাদের জন্য, যে গেরিনা এত বড় একটা অ্যাসেট প্রোভাইড করছে আমাদের, অবশ্যই একটা লাইক ভালো লাগার জায়গা তো থাকবো অবশ্যই।
অবভিয়াসলি আমাদের বাংলাদেশের উপরে যে তারা এভাবে বিশ্বাস করেছে, সেই জন্য অবশ্যই গেরিনাকে আপনাদের তরফ থেকে, অবশ্যই আমাদের তরফ থেকেও ধন্যবাদ থাকবে। এবং লাইক আপনাদের যে টুর্নামেন্ট এখন আপাতত খেলতেছেন এফএফবিসি, এইটা আপনাদের কাছে কেমন মিন করে যে এফএফবিসি ইজ লাইক দা লাইক লোকাল টুর্নামেন্ট, লাইক নাকি আপনাদের কাছে অনেক বড় কিছু ম্যাটার করতেছে?
এটা হচ্ছে লাইক সব থেকে, এটা আমি বললাম যে লাইফ চেঞ্জিং একটা ব্যাপার হতে পারে যদি আমরা এখান থেকে ভালো একটা কিছু করি। যেহেতু আমরা সবাই জানি, আমরা যারা বাংলাদেশ কান্ট্রিতে ফ্রি ফায়ার খেলি, অতটা ফ্যামিলি কিন্তু একটা হিউজ সাপোর্ট এখানে কিন্তু থাকে না আসলে।
একদম
সাপোর্ট
একদম
না থাকার কারণে হয়তো আমরা চাইলেও আমাদের যেটা এক্সাক্ট স্কিল এটা শো করতে পারি না, হয়তো ডিভাইসের জন্য প্রবলেম থাকে, অন্যান্য আরো প্রবলেম থাকে লাইক নেটওয়ার্ক, সবকিছু দিয়ে যে একটা প্রপার এনভায়রনমেন্ট কিন্তু আমাদের কাছে নাই। তারপর ওইটা ওভারকাম করে আমরা চেষ্টা করি একটা ভালো কিছু করার। যদি আমরা এখান থেকে একটা ভালো পারফরমেন্স দেখাতে পারি, একটা ভালো কিছু অবশ্যই আর্ন করতে পারি, সেই ক্ষেত্রে ফ্যামিলি দেখলে একটা হিউজ সাপোর্ট আশা করি তারা আমাদেরকে দিবে। সো আমরা ওই লক্ষ্যে আসলে খেলছি, যাতে ফ্যামিলি থেকে একটা সাপোর্ট আমাদেরকে আসে, যদি আমরা ভালো একটা কিছু করতে পারি। সো ইয়াস, তো স্পোর্টস তো অনেক বড় একটা ফ্যাক্ট এখানে।
একদম স্পোর্টকে কিন্তু এখন আমরা আমাদের বাংলাদেশে এবং গেরিনাও সেভাবে কিন্তু দেখতেছে যে স্পোর্ট অনেকটা এগিয়ে গেছে। সো আজকে আমি একটা ফানি কোশ্চেন করতে চাই যে আপনাদের পুরো স্কোয়াডের মধ্যে সবথেকে নটি পার্সনটাকে?
আমাদের ভিতরে সব থেকে নটি হচ্ছে কিংসম্যান।
ওকে, কিংসম্যান রাশ আর কিংসম্যান, ওকে সবকিছু কিংসম্যান, আচ্ছা।
সো যাই হোক, সো আপনাদের সাথে কথা বলে অনেক ভালো লাগলো। আমরা আপনাদের অসাধারণ কিছু খেলা দেখেছি। আপনারা খুব সুন্দর খেলেছেন। আজকেও আপনারা অনেক ভালো খেলেছেন। পজিশনে একটু হয়তোবা সমস্যা হয়েছে, কিন্তু আপনারা কিল করেছেন, স্কোয়াড ওয়াইপ আউট করেছেন। সো এখনো আপনাদের সামনে দিন আছে। আশা করি আপনারা টপ ফাইনালে ডিরেক্টলি কোয়ালিফাই করবেন। সো সেই আশায়
ইনশাআল্লাহ।
আমরা রইলাম, এবং আমরা চাবো যে আপনারা আপনাদের পজিশনটা ধরে রাখেন এবং ভবিষ্যতে আরো ভালো করেন। সো আজকে এ পর্যন্তই। সবাইকে গাইস টাটা, বাই বাই। দেখা হবে আবারও কিছুদিন পরে।
গাইস, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
থ্যাংক ইউ।